Sounding good. Sounding nice.
Feeling crispy?
It's feeling good.
All right, you ready, rock, sir?
Yeah, decided to wear.
Rob's trying to figure out what the best look is for the podcast.
Yeah, because I decided to wear all white for some reason, and it looks better with
I
the
think
jeans
you were
jacket.
expecting to keep your denim jacket on, and it was not.
Yeah.
It was not cold enough for that.
Yeah, it wasn't the vibe to keep it on, so I just took it off.
What's up, dude? Cheers.
What's up? Cheers. Let me put the 9.5 pH to the side.
We're trying to keep Rob healthy out here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Just with the old fashioned, then just slug some 9.5 pH down your throat.
Wow.
Welcome, dude. We kind of met randomly.
Yeah, we did.
Just like,
That's the best, though, you know?
yeah. It's weird just because, like, you have good friends when, like, their friends are dope as fuck.
Yeah. I always say that, too.
It's like if it goes two people down the friend chain, it's like, wow, like I really got some good friends because these guys seem like they are good to the friend that I have.
Right, and it's like you can tell when you could click right away with certain things, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow, it feels like, you know, we've been friends or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
In a way, right?
Well, when I met you, I was just really intrigued because like you looked like you were observing everything, and and you stay quiet, and I was like, And in my experience from also just like psychology books as well as just like being around a lot of people and talking to people a lot, the person who is quiet observes the most and pays attention to like what's going on and then inserts himself when they like feel like they have a good grasp on the room.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I feel like I'm aware of that, but I wasn't before, and that's something that I kind of had to learn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like I was.
So it wasn't natural for you. That's not natural for you.
I would say, I mean, I didn't think about it like until you brought it up. So I guess like it's more of a natural thing now, but I'm
Now,
talking about
yeah.
maybe when I was like younger or growing up, like
Sure.
a teenager or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like when you start reading those books and stuff and learning more about yourself and you start learning more about how you act.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, there's certain things I want to fix about myself.
Isn't it funny that like a lot of people like don't see themselves like that at all? They don't like pay attention to the characteristics that they have, or like the small like gestures that they randomly do but they didn't mean to, and like I feel like it's important to be self-aware, but like there's so many people who in the world who are not.
Yeah, I agree. Like a lot of people just kind of like move on autopilot in a way. And I feel like I'm blessed that I had the platform to like, I started making YouTube videos so like I can watch myself online and kind of have a documentation of how I acted throughout like my life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and you can see how you changed and evolved.
Yeah. And I guess I'm just the type of person that always wants to strive to be better anyway. So I'm like, I'm always looking like, how can I improve? Or like, is
it weird? Like, I guess me looking back at podcasts now over like 80 episodes, like I could see the amount of likes and as I say, and like, do I really sound like that? Or like, why did I answer that question in that way?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like I'm better at communicating and asking questions because there's less pauses in between like subjects, and like the guest isn't feeling like they don't know what to say. Those uncomfortable pauses. It must feel the same way looking at your videos. And you're like, why did I do that edit? Or this
or
and
like
that?
the pacing was a little off there. Like I could do something different now, but I definitely think it's something that's not like easy per se. Like a lot of people don't even think about that, like you said. So like to even have a conversation or to like conduct an interview. Within itself, if you told somebody to do that off the street, they'd be like, oh, they wouldn't know the first thing to do or say, So it's like,
it's so funny because like most interactions that you have are like, hi, how you doing? Cool, nice to meet you. Like, what do you do? This, cool. Like, and it's like very surface level,
Yeah.
And when you have a in-depth conversation more than 10 minutes and you're like, oh, I don't know what to talk about, that I don't know if you're a deep person because you don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, you can really get to know the person by like maybe 2 minutes of talking. Yeah, maybe less.
I mean, by gestures and stuff too, how they act, if they're nervous. Like, it's so funny because like there's a lot of people who are very, I guess, like well known in the world, and they're seen through like a camera lens as like this and that, but they don't talk to that many people per day. I
mean, like me, I don't really talk to people. Like, we're filming a lot.
Can you bring that one? Just
there we go.
Yeah, turn it like slightly that way. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, you were over here.
I don't really go on podcasts, so it's like I'm learning.
Yeah, Rob really speaks to Mike all the time.
Yeah, right. No, I'm on camera all the time, but I'm like, sometimes I'll go days without even talking to one person. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Did you ever want to act, bro? Because like I was doing like some research on you just before because I didn't really know your videos, and then like I heard a friend of ours, Kev.
Yeah,
and he was like, like some guy came up to Rob in Vegas, dude, and was like, yo, what's good? I was like, really? Like, I haven't heard of him at all.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
But how did you get into YouTube? Like I guess all the people who were in the early stages of like YouTube, they just decided to pick up a camera and film themselves, and by some chance of the imagination, like some people found it entertained just by like raw clips.
Yeah, I mean, how I got into it was kind of like when I was posting videos, it was a bit more taboo to be a YouTuber. Like people looked at it differently.
How so?
Like I started, I don't know, 10 years ago, I started making YouTube videos. So it was like, who was the big, there's like probably a handful of like big YouTubers, you know, that's when like 500,000 views on YouTube was like viral.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was homeschooled at the time.
Oh shit!
And
so high school?
We were talking about acting, I think, right? Like,
yes, acting.
That was the question.
The question was like, have you ever wanted to do acting?
Yeah, so that's funny because that's how it started. Okay. It's like, well, I started as a dancer, and then I got an agent through dance, and then they referred me to like an acting agent. That's when I started like auditioning for different commercials and movies and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I wanted to be an actor, but I think doing that also like opened the gates to like doing my own videos and like I was in front of the camera so much, and I saw like the big cameras they're using and the equipment and everything to make the production or whatever, and I think that kind of sparked my curiosity on like I like acting and I like making video, or that seems interesting, so
why can't I do it myself?
Exactly. So then I started like messing around with like a laptop camera.
And how old were you at this point?
I was messing around with like making videos like as a kid, probably like 10 or 8 or 10.
But this point after, I guess you said that you couldn't create these videos by yourself. Is that like at that age, what was that? Because you said you were doing it.
Yeah, so I started doing like making videos in high school. Yeah. Okay. So it's like I was doing auditions and whatnot like as a kid throughout high school, and then like that's when I kind of quit and then pursued to make YouTube videos. So I was in like probably junior year or
of high school,
sophomore to junior year. I like got into like making videos, and then I would like.
What camera did you have?
First camera was a camcorder from Costco. Okay. And I would just set it up in my room with some like clamp lights that I got from Lowe's or whatever. And I just filmed like whatever was popping like back then, which was like challenges like baby food challenge and
what's baby food challenge?
It's like you get a whole bunch of baby food and you like eat it and you just like you're with somebody. It's like that was popping back then.
Really?
Like
on YouTube.
Baby food challenge, like all the clothespin challenge, cinnamon challenge.
Okay, I've seen the cinnamon challenge.
TMI tags and like more jump cut, like in your room style videos. Like that's kind of the era when I started, and that's kind of what like inspired me to make videos of my own. But yeah, no, sophomore year, junior year, I started making videos. And
were your parents like, what the fuck is this, bro?
No, exactly. Yeah, like my parents were like almost against it at first.
Sure.
And we laugh about it now. Because like I said, it was a bit more taboo to like make videos, and I was like in my room recording myself. Think about that, like your kid is in his room recording himself to and posting it on YouTube for maybe a maximum of 4 people to watch. Dang. And that's probably just the family members.
You're describing OnlyFans or what?
I mean, hey, I think I pioneered that.
Rob was just filming himself in his room with his parents questioning what he's posting on the internet.
Exactly. But there was something about like, I guess the YouTube I was watching back then and like just my experience of being on camera and behind the camera, in front of the camera.
So you had this experience before you picked up a camera to film yourself.
Yeah, but like not like producing it on my own. Like, you know what I mean? I would audition or I would just make random home videos or laptop stop motion. Like, I think I always had something for like making things, like being creative in a way, you know, like, and I think it might have stemmed from dance. Because I danced since I was like 6 years old, and like that was a big part of my life. Yeah. And I think by doing that, it kind of like it opened me up in different ways. It sounded kind of weird, but I feel like even just being creative and expressing yourself, like, well, I feel that allowed me to express myself in a way I never thought I could.
Yeah, I was about to say there's certain movements that you do with your body that like they're so odd that like it makes a different part of your brain work. So like, for example, like I'm a personal trainer and I'll tell someone to do a movement and I tell them and I show it to them and they like actively cannot figure out how to do it. Yeah. Right. And their brain is working so hard. Like they just, and then they finally figure it out. And so now this part of your brain that's working in your left side of your body is like, oh, I have I guess whatever the stimulus from the reaction, this and that, and thinking about it, I don't know the science behind it, to like have that movement in my bag at all times. And I feel like it's a step further with dance. Yeah. Like, it's not just a backwards lunge with a twist. It's a backward lunge with a twist to, like, I don't know, the jerk.
No, exactly. Like, now that I think about it, you know, it wasn't just dance. You know, it taught me so much more about, I don't know, timing, like musicality, rhythm. Like you said, like I can go to a lesson and probably get the movement that I need to do because my body went through all of this training of like 100%. Moving in different ways. That also taught me retention and how to like, you know, manage my time with practice and things like that. So it's like doing that, I think also, you know, once I stopped doing that and once I kind of aged out in a way is what they call it, like after your 4 years after you do collegiate or whatever. Yeah. I stopped dancing and then I went full force into YouTube and I just used it as another like, you know, expression of myself and I was able to kind of like transfer that over in a way. Like I miss dancing, but
why did you stop?
I mean, I think it was just too much. Like
too much in what way?
I wasn't trying to pursue dance like career wise or like in the future. Like
not trying to go on a year tour.
Exactly. Like I knew it was one of those things where I wasn't trying to pursue it in that way, which if it was, then I would, you know, take the proper like steps which is there. Like take class or teach around the world or whatever. Yeah. But I decided to kind of stop and be like, you know what, it's my time is done. Like it's time to kind of like take the next step in life. And I felt like that was a big shift also and like just the momentum in my life and what was going on, because after I quit I stopped dancing is like I quit. I stopped everything, moved out to LA 3 years ago and then just straight pursued that. Yeah. So that was a big shift.
What gave you the courage, I guess, to like make those big game time decisions? Because like they're scary. You know? Yeah. And like there's so much unknown in those like making of decisions and like you probably didn't think a ton about it.
But what I think I could thank myself for is like I always knew I wanted to make like videos or do something like creative in that way, like online. And I just never stopped. Like I as I was dancing, as I was auditioning, as I was making my own videos or whatever, or as I was working full time or going to school, I like on the side continue to build up my YouTube channel. Like even though if there's only getting like hundreds or thousands of views or whatever the whatever it was back then, but no, I was just kind of like working to build that up.
I was curious about like where do you think this creativity stems from? Because obviously you developed something from like dance, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it's from. Just like I don't know. I've always made videos, and I was in like film class in high school, and I think that's also what kind of like got me into making videos. And we used to do skits and like high production things and use like DSLR. When I seen a DSLR for the first time in high school, I was like, oh shoot, that's cool. Yeah. And like you could change the lens and you could get different creative shots, and I was really into like getting audio and putting it over video and matching up the video with the audio and like editing, and then I got into like editing like graduation like videos, and I would go to like barbershops and say like, hey, can I edit a promo video, just highlight video for free, because I really just wanted to like make videos, get good with the camera, like edit videos, learn how to edit. Like I just taught all that by myself by like doing random like I would think of something like and I'll be like, oh, let me go film that. Like I got the camera now, so got the Costco camcorder, let me just film stuff, whatever it is, and I'll just put it on the laptop, see what I could edit. Like,
did you ever
I'll learn a new tutorial every week, like how to edit this, how to edit that, and then before you know it, I'm like, oh shit, like I know how to edit things now.
Did your parents or friends or family, all this stuff, like think it was weird that you're just filming people all the time, like, or you get any backlash from it?
Definitely, like I was saying before, like my parents thought my it was just different. So none of their friends' kids were making videos. No one in the area that I was kind of living in was making videos.
And where was this?
There wasn't no community in the IE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Rialto, Fontana, not too far, but the creative YouTube space.
It's the England Empire, guys. I only know that because
England Empire,
fuck.
Yeah.
Still
the England Empire.
I thought it was the England Empire.
That sounds legit though. Imagine. Yeah, I'm from the England Empire.
I was like, wow, like that sounds so nice. How is that only a few hours away?
Yeah, no, but there's always those people that doubt, but it's like it makes sense because it wasn't popular. Like nowadays, everyone's trying to be a YouTuber. Everyone's trying to, like start an online thing or like create a business online or do that, whatever. So it's like back then, if you said, "Oh, I'm making YouTube videos and I want that to be my thing," people would just laugh and be like, "Okay, so but what's your like plan B?" You know what I mean?
I feel like they still say that, depending where you're from.
They still say that, yeah.
Like if you're born in LA, like you could see
it's
it.
More
like,
it's
common.
More. It's people are more used to it now. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What it is? The headphones is what like it's throwing me off because I'm not used to talking like with headphones. So I'm like, when I'm talking, I'm thinking about that, but then I'm losing track of what I'm saying
because you're just thinking about what
that's
you're
exactly it. I figured it out. I'm like, damn.
You need to take one off.
No, I think if I take one off, it's I'm able to kind of like be calibrated properly to say words.
So have you not really like spoke with headphones on at all?
No, like we don't.
It's a weird concept.
Me and my friends, we tried to do a podcast a few times, and it's something you got to get used to. But like you've done so many episodes, so you're like,
well, dude, I think it closes you off from the world. Also, just be gentle when you slam these because of the new racks.
I definitely heard that.
Oh, it's okay. Rob couldn't even hear the slams because he was so in his head.
Yeah, no, for us.
But with the headphones, it takes you to a place where like you're just enclosed and you just hear this other person's voice, and I feel like it's so much more connected than just talking.
Yeah, and when you got the crispy mics, it's like, oh wow, like
crispy.
I just want to talk and listen to my voice.
Oh, a lot of people hate it, dude. They'll get on and they'll be like, I didn't know I sound that shitty.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's
I'm gonna wrap it around real quick. So the question was like, have you ever wanted to be like a good actor in the beginning, or wanted to be acting? Because my buddy Kev, who went to Vegas with you guys, you had a great time, was like, yo, like look at Rob's skits right now. He sent me all these links. He was like, yo, he's such a good actor, like this and that. And I was like,
I appreciate that.
No, he probably appreciates that. You appreciate that.
Hey.
But I was like, oh yeah, I would never think of you as a actor.
Yeah.
Because like you seem so normal. Like, I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's just like usually there's some actors. I have a lot of friends who are actors who like, I don't know, they walk around like stiff-ish and like are trying. I don't know. It's just like I can't really explain it.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
They're always on.
Yeah,
there's always on, and like
and I guess the difference would be like they probably consider themselves to be like I don't consider myself to be an actor, but like that's
technically
pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
Strictly on my channel, and everything's scripted.
I don't know how you don't break like a laugh or anything, bro. I'm just like, this man's being serious right now.
Yeah, the good thing there's SD cards with like 128 gigs. I can just fill it up and edit it out later. No, you'd be surprised. Like, I have to redo so many takes, but No, I never wanted to pursue. I wanted to do acting because, like I said, I got into the auditioning. Like, I never knew I liked acting until I started doing the theatrical type of auditions. I was able to book like different things where I would have to say stuff, or it was like a TV show or this or that. So that kind of got me more interested into like, oh wow, I can put on a whole character, and like if I have an idea, I can kind of bring it to life, because I also now have the ability to film and edit videos because I kind of taught myself throughout the past years. So now it's almost like, oh, let me use this like tool bag of things I know how to do and apply it to like creative ideas that I, you know, think of or come up with. And that's kind of been the whole realm of my channel, and what I have going on now is like different like parodies and different ideas that I can kind of like take the viewer into a different world and kind of emulate a certain style. And like,
well, they're comedic
I've been
too,
into,
bro.
like, that type of stuff.
Like from the videos that I've watched, you're saying what people are thinking and they don't know it. Yeah. It's like for the Apple stuff, or like when one of your videos was like old, like imagine like rap songs in an old like day and age, right? And like you dress up in suits, it was black and gray, and like
if old music had modern lyrics.
If old music had modern lyrics. So you just say those words, like you can paint a picture in your own head of just like an Old Town vibe with the lyrics. But the thing is, like, you made a real video that put those words into a reality. And now if someone hears that and sees your video, every time they think about an old place with modern lyrics, they're like, oh, Rob made that. And now I have that picture of it, and it's because he gave it to me in a world where it wasn't real, because it's just my imagination.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's what I kind of like strive to do when I'm making videos, is like, I want to make something where people can get something out of it, just like that, where they can like, people love nostalgia. So it's like, once you learn what people like, it's like you can kind of tap into those things where it's like, I would be interested if old music and you saw a 50s black and white, and they were saying like modern, inappropriate things that, you know, music that they have in music nowadays. That's interesting. So it's like, what are ideas like that I can do? It's like, what I got this from my friend Ryan Trahan. He said like,
sounds familiar.
He makes videos too. Okay. He's a YouTuber. That's that special juice.
Yeah, we got some Blands over here. We're tapping it off, guys. If you don't know what it is, go look it up.
He grabbed that from the top of the shelf like it was like the last scene of the movie, dusted it off. Boom, this is a special event right here.
I forgot what movie made this whiskey popular. There was like a pretty big movie.
Even the bottle's nice.
I think it was James Bond or something. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
It's Rob's first glass of Blanton's, guys, so I wanted to treat him, you know what I'm saying?
This is going to change my life, I think.
Maybe.
Oh, wow.
Silky?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, huh?
You could kind of just feel it just like kind of...
go down? Yeah. Where do you think ideas come from? Where do you think your
curiosity.
Ideas come? Curiosity? Okay.
Yeah. It's like, once you're curious about something, that can lead to so many things. That could lead to you, like, learning something new, applying something to yourself. Like, if I was never curious about my sister dancing at a dance class, I would have never joined dance. I was curious. I was like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
If I was never curious about, like, oh, how did they make that video? I would have never got into, like, making videos.
Yeah.
So it's like, being curious about things is, like, what will shape you to, like, learn things and, like...
I feel it's like, especially in this day and age, dude, because like you could look up a video on how to do something and it's there. Like back then, a perfect example is like my mom's from Laos. She's Vietnamese and she makes like fire pho. Right. Fire pho. Like it's like a 4-day process. She's like letting like bones like just sit in broth overnight for like a couple days. It's, I don't know, really dope shit.
That sounds good.
And it's really good. And she never put it out or this and that. She was like, no, it's a family secret. You're keeping it. And now, like, you type in like how to make authentic pho on YouTube, it's there. You know, so like everything that you ever want to learn is possible because it's been documented by someone who's done it before.
Yeah.
And that's why like everyone's learning shit a lot quicker and people are more informed and this and that. It's because like, oh, like it's so easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go take a class in college anymore. Like,
no,
there's a box.
People nowadays will probably say like, oh, I'm learning more from watching YouTube, my favorite YouTubers, and I'm learning in school, which like I could almost agree. Like, even if you're truly curious about something, you could learn how to, oh, you want to code an app? You can learn that right now on YouTube, or you can, you know, there's services that will teach you like step by step or whatever. So it's like, yeah, back then they didn't really have like stuff like that. It wasn't as common.
Yeah.
The playing field is so much bigger now.
It's so much bigger now, and it's so much more accessible. And the people who make it, I think it's because like it's really just consistency over a long period of time, and they get better at it over time.
Yeah, I think that if you're able to adapt, you know. Yeah. And I feel like
you were just talking about adapting because like your early videos were about like eating baby food, and now they're like rap videos.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like think about it. Like I was making videos when I wasn't doing it for like when I first started it wasn't for like, oh, this is gonna be my career, like I'm gonna be doing this. Like I just started for fun, and then I never stopped. So it's like, oh, like I guess I'm a YouTuber, like you know what I mean? Like
for this shit now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So even now I don't consider like I never really like participated in that like YouTube hamster wheel. Like I tried like
what is it, the YouTube hamster wheel?
And what even is, that's a good question, because like what even is it nowadays? It's like it's changing every day, and it's like, well, posting in a certain schedule every week, making sure you're doing this, keeping up with that. Like I never based my channel around that, but in a world where now being a YouTuber is like, people think about that, it's like, okay, I know what that means. It's Mr. Beast, or it's how you have this company and you're a brand now and this, and it's like, well, I didn't join to do that, but it's like, yeah, I guess I'm in that world now, so it's like I have to adapt, right? So it's like
you have to do it, or else like you wouldn't fit into the space.
Exactly.
Or be competitive in the space.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the only reason why I was able to kind of like get some sort of a success, because I was able to look back at the things I did and realize, okay, maybe that was wrong, or that's not what's in now. And it's like, I didn't know how to operate and maneuver through the YouTube space. I had to like learn through every single video. I've uploaded every single genre on my channel. I've tried vlogs. I've tried fashion lookbooks. I've tried challenges. I've tried whatever kind of genre you could think of. Like, and I think by doing that, I learned
what your niche is,
what my niche, like almost what my niche is, what my lane is, and kind of like what I truly enjoy to do. Because if this is something I want to just do for a career, it's like I want to be happy while doing it. So it's like I'm not going to, you know, be uploading things or working really hard on things I'm not truly passionate about. So that's what I was talking about. Like, I kind of like built my channel in a way where it's built idea based. So it's like the people that follow me, they kind of they know I'm not posting every week. Like they know Rob's not posting like 2 times a week. But you know, that's also something that's like I don't even.
So you're not necessarily with that grain either, because like you're kind of going against the odds of like not putting out twice a week, not saying you're keeping them guessing.
I guess so, yeah. And I guess that's kind of like now part of the whole like that channel, that
I guess your brand.
The brand, I guess, yeah. But on the flip side of it, I also am in another channel with my friends Ryan and Noah.
Shout out Ryan and Noah.
Shout out Ryan and Noah. Love Live Serve. We have a channel called Strawberry Park, which we're doing more of the commentary style reaction vlog. So, and we're uploading every week. So we're almost in that YouTube hamster wheel. And I think that also kind of like, in a way,
feeds your fans' curiosity.
Exactly. And it allows me to kind of like
put your toe in that world.
Yes. And I've been feeling like I've been loading up in a way and kind of like sitting back, and like the internet and YouTube space has been moving so quickly, and the content, I'm like, okay, I don't really know exactly what I want to be putting out. So it's like I'm able to kind of to take some more time to see, okay, how do I want to build out what's going on with the channel that I've, worked so hard on and built up. It's like, where do I want to take that now? And it's like, I have a few different things that I'm really into right now, which is like music. I'm trying to like maybe put some stuff out, and so we'll see. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. It's like,
what does the making videos and like the content creating and stuff do for you now versus what it did for you when you first started doing it when you were like 17?
I get the feedback now. Like back then when I was making videos, no one was watching. So I couldn't grow as quickly, or like I guess I couldn't learn more about like just videos and that kind of journey, because like now I could upload a video and get feedback like ASAP, because there's some people that are there that are watching now, at least, like
and they're not afraid to give their opinion.
Yeah, but that's also my favorite part is like I love the comments. Like I feel like the comments are the most truthful, and like that's where you're gonna get like the real honesty. So it's
do you get a lot of hate or no?
I don't get a lot of hate. But I feel like a fair amount.
I never go through like comment sections that much, because like half of it's just like, oh, like this dude did not need to say that, like he's probably insecure, like some shit like that.
Exactly. And then I like click the profile and it's like a Pikachu profile. It's like, who even are you?
Yeah, 5 followers.
Yeah, like, I'm like, okay. So it's like there's a point in time when the comments really got to me, but really? I think as I've been doing it for so long, it's like I don't even like take it serious. Yeah. But you also have like, you kind of know when, and there's a balance there, because the comments also help me like realize certain things about myself, and like things that I said or things that I don't like, or
probably self-awareness, like
self-awareness. And also, but when you're making YouTube content, it's like you want to please your audience as well. It's like, you're not going to please everybody, but you got to give them what they want as well. So, and it takes videos to kind of realize what that is, and I guess it changes every day. There's people that leave, the people unsubscribe, there's new people that join every day, or that will sub every day. So it's a constant, YouTube is a constant like navigating through views and analytics and what's popping and what's trending. And so
do you still enjoy the creation of it just as much as you did back then?
I do, because I feel like I have the access to make videos that might require like more production, or like bigger ideas that I couldn't do back then. I could probably do now. Just
because you have the resources for it?
Just because I have the resources for it. And I've just learned more about editing, or just like pacing, or just...
Do you have a team that does it, or do you guys do it yourself?
For my videos on my channel, like I edit and produce all that for my channel. Yeah, but for our Strawberry Park page, we have a team that edits and
Dang, that's crazy, bro. Is it weird just seeing the journey of it, that you were just wanting to make videos and now like you're just doing what you always wanted to do, except like you're getting paid a living to do it?
Yeah, no, I think about that, because like this is what I've dreamed of. Like when I first started making videos, when I first got my camcorder, and
shouts out Costco.
Shout out to Costco. Yeah, you can really like, nowadays like iPhone quality is just so good. You can like create, and there's people that run their whole like million like subscriber channels.
And if you know like
camera,
if you know camera angles and like how to edit and stuff like that, you can do a lot of cool things with an iPhone. But it's crazy that people still give the excuse of like, oh yeah, I can't start that YouTube channel, or I can't do this, or I can't do XYZ because I only have an iPhone. I don't have a camera.
Yeah, I don't think there's any excuse anymore.
Yeah.
Especially with AI, it's like, I don't have an editor. Well, there's like an AI that can edit like your whole podcast.
No, there is.
Yeah,
it's not like that. It's not perfect as like a human.
Yeah.
Like, but out of the 1,000 clips that they make, there's 5 that can.
I seen it editing just so quickly, like just robotically. Yeah. I said, okay, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
The AI stuff. I said, okay, wait.
Well, dude, I have a friend in college, not saying names and stuff, who is like in grad school right now, and like he had ChatGPT like write his essay, and like he got like a B on it or some shit.
And see, that's the thing about ChatGPT. everyone's gonna start passing. Like everyone's just gonna.
Yeah, kids are gonna
no
get
one's
dumber.
gonna study.
No one's gonna study. I mean, people in our age weren't even studying either. Like people would cheat all the time, bro.
Write me a 10-page essay on whatever.
Yeah.
Make sure it's not plagiarized.
Yeah.
Make sure I get an A.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, people don't know how to like write into it yet. It's not Google. Right.
Yeah, right.
So like,
I guess it's not the best yet.
It's so you have to know the algorithm of like what to ask it, because then like if you don't have all the information in there, it might turn out some wild shit.
But think about it, like if this is the first stages of that, imagine, bro, in just like a year or two, like what it's gonna be.
Yeah. Like, did you do the AI art thing when everyone did?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're not basic.
Yeah. Damn it. I wasn't basic.
So I was basic and I did it, and
I'd be curious to see what I look like.
You should do it.
I should do it.
And like my arm was like off in the photo in one side, and so like the AI read it, and like in a couple of my videos, it's just like I'm dabbed up, all this stuff. I'm dressed nice, but I just have like one arm. Yeah. You know, like it can't. It's not like fully like there yet. Like
it's a little buggy.
It's a little buggy. Like some would be dope as fuck, but some are just like not great. Yeah. So like my buddy got a B on his essay, but like maybe because he put the right information in versus someone's been like got a D from it because like they forgot to say don't have any quotes from this book.
Oh yeah, so you have to direct it in a way where you know, because it can slip up and it'll be like, oops, plagiarize.
I haven't fucked around with it yet though, but like I'm gonna try this. It's like the subscription.
Yeah.
Isn't it like $25-$30 a month or something? It's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Because like it would ask it like, what's the fastest way to make $1 million in a business? And it has like 25 business ideas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing about it. It's like...
And it pumps it out like that, right? Like
within 5 minutes or something.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. But the thing is the creative part. Like,
There's also no excuse nowadays because you can like
get ideas from the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want to start a channel, it's like, well, just ask Chat GPT. Literally, that's your whole assistant.
Yeah.
Like,
what's a niche like YouTube channel that I can make based on my interests?
How can I format a video of 8 to 10 minute video on any topic?
Yeah.
That's the most engaging for an audience.
Yeah. And it's crazy to see that it's like here kind of, and like I don't know, I don't think my parents pay attention to like the updates on like technology, but I mean, like
I barely could keep up. Like
but there's like, I mean, me neither, but like there's a lot of people in the space who are in their 50s 60s and stuff. Like I watch a ton of videos, I'm like, yo, these guys are pumping out videos day after day after day, and these guys are like 58.
Yeah,
and they understand this technology too. So like the age excuse isn't really a thing either.
No, yeah, that's not a thing.
It's just open-mindedness.
Yeah, because that's the one thing I hate too when people would say like, "Oh, I'm too old" or whatever. I'm like, no, you're not. Yeah, it's like when you're 80, when you're 70, whatever, 90, that's when you're old. Yeah, say you're old when you're actually old.
Yeah, but then like, dude, I went to Japan, bro, and I saw these like 88-year-olds like running miles. And they're just fit as fuck.
Oh yeah, see in Japan, like they're on a different level. I think they live until like 150 or something. Some shit. Yeah. I think once I get older, I'm just gonna move to Japan and just start
by
running.
Osmosis, you'll be good.
I'm not wearing shoes anymore. Just kind of like monk lifestyle, you know. Once I reach a certain age, because then that'll like boost my life. Like I'll probably like add maybe I don't know max 10 years.
Yeah, I wrote this tweet the other day that was like, age is not a qualitative measurement of maturity or wisdom. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people are like,
wait, say that again?
Age is not a qualitative measurement for maturity or wisdom.
Okay, yeah.
So like basically, it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you could still learn some crazy things. And just because like you're young doesn't mean you don't understand it. And just because people who are older than you will say something, you'll understand this when this age, just because you didn't understand it at that age. You know, and they try to project it on you. Mm-hmm. And in reality, that's not the case at all. It's like, you never been to Japan or something like that. You can't talk to me about how like this culture is this way. It's your belief because that's what you heard about.
Exactly.
And I might be 10, 15 years younger than you, but I have that experience and knowledge and to say that is correct, you know, and someone else will speak something over you saying it's correct just because that's what they were taught at a certain time in their life, not regardless of their age.
Yeah. Some people like lock themselves in a bubble, you know, and they don't allow themselves to learn just because, I don't know, whether it's society saying you're too old to be doing that, or you can't do that if you haven't learned when you were younger. It's like, well, yeah, now more than ever, you can learn how to do anything. Yeah. And you want to learn how to play the piano? Oh, they got apps on your phone to teach you how to play piano in weeks. Like,
all it does is take effort, dude.
Effort.
Like a little bit of time, not much time.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time me contemplating, I guess, starting a podcast versus to figure it out versus the time it took me to figure out, it was ridiculous. Yeah. Like you make a few Google searches, you understand mics, you just get a camcorder, like you get lights and cameras, and you go. Yeah. And I was like, there was this whole thing in my head of like, you can't figure this out. There's so much to do, this and that, or like getting in shape, working out. So the amount of people were like, oh, I can't work out. I don't have time. And I was like, did you have 10 minutes in between your breakfast and like,
and it's like, if you think about it, you do got time.
You got time.
Yeah. You were scrolling on your phone for a collective time about 3 hours today. You got time.
You got time.
Yeah. Whatever it is, but
that part, dude. I mean, I have some friends in the fitness space who like make money off of just like reels and stuff, and so like their screen time is like 13 hours.
Yeah, I mean, that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a time when my screen time was pretty high. But see, with me, like I listen to music, so it's like it counts that sometimes when it's just on Spotify all day. And I'm like, hey.
Oh yeah, there's that.
But then I also say like, oh, since I'm a YouTuber and I'm like making videos online, like I got to stay up with the trends.
So
like
it's
it's okay. I can scroll on TikTok for 3 hours.
Do you think it is okay?
I think it's okay. You just got to have a balance. You know, like.
But by doing it, that's not by definition not necessarily balanced of you.
No, it's also it's feeding into the fact that you're scroll. See, but I think there's different users of like apps. There's people that mindlessly scroll and just like nod off. I feel like when I'm watching videos and I know I think there's different tiers of viewing experience or whatever.
What are those tiers?
I don't know what the tiers are, but I think I'm at a tier where I'm watching videos and trying to like take something away or learn something or like get inspiration.
Yeah, what's Rob's YouTube algorithm in terms of viewing shit? Like, what do you watch?
What do I watch? Like random stuff. I watch random things, like just the most random stuff that pop up that like spark my interest.
Mine's
or like,
boring. Mine's so boring.
Yeah,
mine's like finance channels.
Yeah,
and then mine's sports.
I'll go through phases though. See, like I'll be into finance for a week, so my whole TikTok will be like, what you should do with $10,000, like how to invest, and then I'll be into fitness, and then like all my things are like how to get abs in a week. Yeah. But it's just random stuff
for
I
YouTube?
watch for YouTube and for like TikTok. I'm on TikTok a lot.
Dude,
do you use TikTok or no?
I just got on it probably like 6 months ago, just posting the like reels basically that I put on there. But like I just don't like the way it looks.
Okay, you don't like the format of it.
It's just like I don't know, Instagram, like when you look at it, it's easy interface. I look at TikTok and it just looks like a tornado of chaos.
No, that is so true.
And I'm just like, I'm afraid to dive in there because then I'll be part of the chaos. That's what, every time I look at the interface of TikTok, I post and ghost, bro. Yeah. I'm done. Like,
and because like now people are pandering to the short attention spans of the people nowadays, so it's like every video has people 4 have edits collaged.
Do you think people
video.
have short attention spans?
Yeah,
but you could stay through a whole movie, and that's like 3 hours.
That's true.
And you could listen to the whole podcast. That could be 3 hours.
But see, the thing is, people will not just watch or listen to a podcast. Like, that's why they have that new feature where you can put a little bubble in the bottom of the screen, but you can also do something else. But watch this. It's like, haven't you noticed, like on TikTok, where like it would be like 2 videos in one, and it'll like be somebody saying something, and then it'll be like slime on the top. Like it's because they know that it's like, well, I want to watch the slime because I can't just listen to the podcast guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, that might be a good strategy for your podcast.
I guess.
Just put random satisfying clips.
Yeah. Is your Instagram algorithm like half-ass?
It isn't. Well, see, I don't explore on Instagram. That's the thing. See, I'm on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I don't even like go on Instagram Reels because I just think like those are like knockoff TikToks.
Ah, so you're like TikTok OG,
so I'm
bro.
like, yeah, exactly. So that's
and you're
why
like, Instagram doesn't deserve my viewing, bro.
Not even. I'm just like, to me, it's like Instagram is like, oh, why would I? It feels weird. Like,
why
I'm
would
used to scrolling on TikTok.
Why would I watch something that's like a second hand of?
Yeah, because I'm like, every Instagram video just has the TikToks, the watermarks.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, but then again, it's like everything's repurposed, right? So if you're posting on TikTok, you're posting the same video on Instagram Reels and the same video on Shorts because these apps are now just competing against each other.
I think a lot of people in the U.S. who are not on TikTok, which is, I think most people besides people in big cities like LA, New York, stuff like that, like
aren't they banning it or something?
Yeah, like there's a chance that they will.
I heard they're banning it like 4 times. Like, when are they actually banning it? Like, they keep getting me scared. Like, they're like, I keep seeing.
Why are you scared? Why would you get scared from?
Because TikTok? I go on. That's my favorite app. Right? That's why I scroll on TikTok.
I have a bartending friend, and she was like, "Yeah, I love TikTok." And I was like, "Why do you love TikTok?" Because I'm mostly on Instagram. She was like, well, they know me. Like, the algorithm knows me. Like, every single video that I watch, like, I want to watch it.
I agree.
And she was like, I don't watch like TV anymore. Like, I just watch TikTok. Like, I love it. And this is a grown 27-year-old woman, bro. And I'm just like,
I can relate, actually. And it's like, admitting that it's because it's true. I could go to my TikTok and I feel like the first few videos would be a video I want to watch because the algorithm and the AI is so good now. It's like, they know exactly what I want to see. They'll give me the exact ad for these shoes that I've been wanting or these sunglasses, like,
bro, then you end up buying them.
And you end up buying them.
So it's like, you always end up buying them. If it's like 2 weeks, a month, a year out, you always end up buying them.
So it's like AI is like already
here.
It's already
taking over,
controlling us.
Yeah.
It's like,
isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that you can't go to like a place 30 minutes away without your phone? Like, you just can't figure out how to get there. You're like, hey, take me to Disneyland.
Oh my gosh. If I was somewhere I didn't know in my car and my phone was dead, I would have to go into like throwback mode and like ask people, where's the freeway? What would I do?
Bro, my phone died one time and I didn't have a charger.
That's so bad though. It's like, we rely on the phones too much.
Bro, my phone died and I didn't have a charger and I was like, it's this way. And then like it was the opposite direction and I ended up going like 40 minutes in the wrong direction. So now I'm like an hour 40 in the wrong direction that way. And I was just like, God damn, bro, like this is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like we don't have maps in the car. We don't got paper maps and a compass.
No one has an external GPS anymore. Like,
Zero.
are they? No, they're not really doing that. Remember back then my parents used to do the map quest.
Yeah.
Before we would go anywhere, it's like, we'll get to print the directions. Print it out.
Google it, the map quest on Google Maps, and then it has every turn that you should go to.
That's crazy.
It's so easy now, bro. We're so blessed.
We're evolving.
Yeah, it's also bad though. Like, you look at this screen, right? So you could do work off of it, right? You get your entertainment off of it. It takes you places. Most people have sex with it. Like,
oh yeah,
like,
oh my gosh, yes.
You do everything.
Vibrate. It has vibrate different modes on there. Like,
yes,
come on now,
bro.
They're doing that. But no, you're right. It's like a blessing and a curse, this thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, even as we were sitting here, like, it was buzzing, and it's like you just kind of want to check it.
Yeah.
But we've been so instilled
primed,
in primed, like, check your phone with notification. Uber Eats. I'll get a notification from McDonald's. Hey, it's time to eat. Like, are you hungry? I'm like, get away. Like, I don't want that.
Get out of here. And you're like, how does this work?
How does it know I'm actually hungry? I want chicken nuggets right now.
And then you just think about it and you're like, I kind of do want chicken nuggets.
No, exactly. Like, I'm like, God damn, this AI knows me too well. But oh my gosh, bro, the AI stuff.
Insane. What do you think creativity does for people? What do you think the importance is of being creative and making things?
Personally, if two things. For personal, it would be like, I like being creative because it helps me express myself. But on the other side of it, I also like inspiring people too. And I found that through making videos and through some videos, or just when people resonate with the videos or comment or leave nice comments or like come up to me in person, I'm like, oh, okay, that's also the other side. That's what makes me want to keep being creative, is like I want to make something else where people could kind of like resonate with it, and like maybe they can help them. Like I've had other videos where people will comment and say, oh, this video helped me out, like, or whatever, like I watched this, whatever. So I'm like, oh, I would love to do that. Like if I'm helping people, like why not? So that's also another driving factor for me to continue to be creative. And I think it's just in my blood though, you know, just like I've just been doing different things, whether it was dance or sports or drawing, art, painting, arts and crafts, making this or that. It's like, I don't know, I think it gives you character as well as like, you know, if you allow yourself to be creative and express yourself, then you get to know more of yourself and you get to, you know,
understand yourself
better.
Because I feel like in the process of like just making things, it builds your character because you're trying to figure it out, and you usually like hit a bump in the road and you're like, okay, I could either decide to like not do this, or I could like grow a pair and fucking like just get through this wall. And
everyone has a capability of being creative. I feel like,
I feel like in every job there has to be, right? Like you just have to not make it monotonous, and you have to try to figure out problems.
Problem solving is being creative.
100%. And back to what you said about like how these videos make people feel and they resonate with them, like the biggest like reward is like helping people, in my opinion, you know. And I experienced that through like personal training, you know. Because you change someone's life in a way that could be physically or mentally, just like by getting them past this physical barrier, versus like if you made a video that resonated with someone who had the experience that was bad, but you had a solution in your video, like that might have like changed their life, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like I think about, you know, things I was watching that, you know, triggered something in my mind to think, oh, I want to do this, or I want to like try that. And there's something so small but big about that. And you never know, like we were talking about this earlier, like you never know who's watching your stuff. You never know. It's like you look at the analytics and it's like there's somebody in Dubai watching it and wanting to buy our merch, and it's like, oh wow, it puts it into perspective that, you know, there's people that you know, not everyone is in a perfect situation, like, you know, but they can tune into a video and they can feel a certain way, and if you're that outlet and you can help that somebody do that, like I said, that in itself is like, oh, I want to make another video. I want to do something like
regardless,
because like you can make anything in any genre and any style, and there's going to be somebody that resonates with it or enjoys it or likes it. Like that's what I've learned by making videos, is you cannot please everybody. It's like you hate seeing a comment like, oh, what is this is bad, this L video mid, whatever. It's like,
you make one then, bro.
Exactly. But like that's also just part of it. It's like you gotta fail, you got to you're not gonna please everybody is basically what I'm trying to say.
Do you ever think about like your audience or like your viewership? Because I've had a couple like people have a big following over here and like, have you ever imagined like just imagine one of your videos that I watched had like 9 million views, right? Just imagine 9 million people like in person.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that is so many human beings that a part of you has touched. You know, like you were a small part of their life at one point. And is that such a weird concept? Like, have you ever thought about that?
It's always crazy to think about. Like, they're just like pixels on a screen. But when you actually think about it, damn, this video has 1 million views. Like, that's a lot of people. if you had 1 million people in front of you, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like you'd be so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You're like, I did not make that. I'm not here right now.
No, exactly. I'm like, I just made this in my room, and somehow all these people watch this. But that's the beauty of just online.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that you just have like probably a camera in this like room that you grew up in, or like wherever you're living, and people from all around the world are tuning in. Like, that's such a weird concept. It's
a weird concept, but it's like that in itself is also motivating. To like in itself, it's like, well, it's like. Now more than ever, you have the capability of reaching anybody in the world, and a lot of people too.
Yeah, like, do you ever think about this, bro? Like, you probably have better analytics and viewership than like some news channels.
I mean, like in certain videos, yeah, exactly.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And so, like, it's way. So I always talk about this concept a lot. It's like, every person is going to know 1,000 people by name in their lifetime, usually. So between you and me, 1,000 times 1,000, our network of people in the world is going to be around 1 million people, right? So everything that I say to you and you say to me is way more important than you think, because it could be affecting 1 million people, potentially. And then you compound that shit with a video online, right? And it makes that compounding effect way more. And in reality, if you just go like the same concept to videos and online, you probably have access, if you said something really, really, really meaningful and important in the world, or like a cause that a lot of people like stood by, it might be seen by almost everyone in the world. Yeah.
And that's the crazy part. It's like,
and therefore what you say is way more important than you think.
And I think that could also affect the way people act on camera, and it makes sense, because even me, I think about it and I'm like, as I'm sitting here, I got the mic on, I got the cameras, and it's like, well, it's for an intention for people to watch. So it's like, you also subconsciously think about that, and it's like, okay, what are you saying? And what you do say, like you said, it means a lot and can affect people in ways that you would never expect.
Just thinking about how the audience is going to react to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because there's this other quote that I brought up in the last podcast. You guys are going to hear it twice. It's like, you're not who you think you are. You're not who they think you are. You are who you think they think you are.
That's deep. I need to take a sip. Oh my gosh. That's so right though.
You know, and that's the concept that you were just saying. Like, you're worried about your people who like pay attention to you, but you're also envisioning who you are from their lens.
Exactly. You're viewing yourself only through their lens, because, I mean, I guess as humans, we kind of only care about what people think in a way, right? Like,
I feel like there's levels to that.
There's levels, because it's like, oh, don't care what people say. But
like,
in a way,
I like to say most of the time that I guess I don't care much about what people think, but obviously there's a subconscious in my head. I'm like, I'll be at a bar, I'll talk to some chick, and then like I'll walk away, and like I'll be like, oh, she probably fucking thinks she like hates me. Like, why? She's like, why is this dude talking to me? Type of deal. In reality, is like, I shouldn't like. Why even think about that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like. Cool. Next, like, or like a friend or this and that. Like, you meet all this cool group of people, and like 2 people don't like you. Like, why do you care?
Exactly.
It's not that deep. You know how many people there are in the world?
Not that deep.
Like, I've been thinking about like just dating in general, when people break up and like this is the love of my life, and I should have been with them forever. It's my high school sweetheart. This and that. XYZ relationships, every single one of them. I was like, bro, you're telling me that there's not another one out of the billions of people in the world that has the same characteristics, the same interests, and all this as you? Yeah. Like, cool, you broke up and it was a good time, or this and that bad time, but like, there's other people who have cool interests and like, like you and stuff. Yeah. Or you're very similar to. You're like, the amount of people who probably have a YouTube channel who like music, this and that. Yeah. Like, there's so many.
No, you're right. You're right.
But as humans, we always like, oh, this relationship was everything, friendship or romantic, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I've lost friends over time. I'm sure you have, or like a relationship. I'm sure you have. And I'm just like, you thought that was the life that you were going to live this entire time, when in reality, like, people go through seasons and you're a different person than you were like 3 years ago, let alone 2 years ago, or let alone yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like you could have gained something from a YouTube video that like changed your life.
Yeah, no, exactly. What's that saying is like, everyone you meet ever knows something that you don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can learn something from anybody, from anything.
Yeah.
And you're either willing to like, live life on autopilot or learn something.
Isn't it crazy what people are interested in? Because you'll talk to like, especially out here in LA, there's people into everything. And I'm just like, how the fuck do you get into that? Like, I had this the Polish baker guy on,
sign up for that?
And he was just talking about so passionately about like how to make sourdough bread, and like the perfect sourdough bread with like, and I was just like, wow, like this is his life. He loves making sourdough bread, and he likes the science about it. And I'm just like, I would never want to get into that. Like, it doesn't sound good. Like, to me.
Oh, that's your thing. You're the sourdough bread guy. About okay, that's you. Okay,
and it's like romantic. Yeah, I'm just like, Or versus like you, like I have no desire to make a skit to pretending to be the news and this and that. But I was like, yo, I respect it and I appreciate it and I'm getting value from it. Versus just like this loaf of sourdough bread that I'm eating with the spaghetti. Yeah. Like, it's fire.
It's fire. You have more of an appreciation every time you take a bite now.
100%.
Yeah.
You have more of appreciation because, like, for me, I didn't like a lot of sports growing up because I didn't know the rules. I didn't know the sport. Yeah. And then you hang out with enough guys or girls who like play the sport and they tell you passionately of like, oh yeah, like that's a strike, this and this, like, or like for basketball, like the amount of like fouls and all this. And now you see the game. Yeah. And now you're like, oh, I appreciate it because I understand it. Yeah. So just like how I understood like that sourdough bread, like I was like, wow, every time I eat sourdough bread now, I'll be like, this shit's good.
Yeah, this is good. I know the science behind this. Or I have a friend that does at least.
Yeah. That part.
yeah. No, I mean, staying open-minded, I feel like that's what I like to do in any situation. Like, I love meeting new people because that's an opportunity for me to maybe learn something I never knew before, or like do something I never done. Yeah, just like,
what's the importance, or what do you find entertaining, or what do you like about doing new things or doing something that you're not used to doing, that you're kind of uncomfortable with?
I don't know. I just feel like that's what life's about. It's kind of like living life, learning, failing, and experiencing, and kind of like gaining all these different attributes and kind of like leveling up, like as a person, right? So it's like you could apply it to anything. Like, oh, I want to learn how to change a tire. So it's like in any situation, in an emergency, I know how to do this. Or it's like, I think that just makes you a better person all around, is like learning new things. Like, you were making this drink and that kind of sparked my curiosity in a way where I was like, I want to learn how to make a drink, because that's also something cool. It's like, even if in a social setting, it's like, what kind of drink do you guys want? Like, whatever. It's like, that's just something else that, like, it's
a party trick too.
It's a party trick, but that's one thing where it's like, I seen something from someone else that I maybe want to learn and apply that to myself. So I think that's kind of what it's about. Yeah, is like, and like, I never would have even, like we were talking about, how we met was pretty random, super random. So it's like, this is cool.
We were celebrating my birthday, guys, and it was two good friends of ours, and they were like, "Can I bring Rob?" I was like, "Who's Rob?" She's like, "Our friend." I'm like, "Yeah." They were like, "Yo, we're gonna celebrate your birthday." I'm like, "Okay, sick." I pull up, Rob's there. "What's up, dude?" "Nate." "Sick." And we just kicked it.
Yeah, we just kicked it. We're like, and we set this up, and I was like, perfect.
Yeah, it worked out, bro. I'm gonna turn off this AC. We're gonna take a break. I'll get another drink, and maybe near the restroom too. Bye. Little Bland's boy.
Oh yeah, that's nice. You got the perfect cubes too.
Bro, yeah, too classic. People come over and like, you will like go to a friend's house, right? And they like, you want a drink, and it's usually just like a plastic cup and like a vodka.
Yeah, no, it's all ghetto.
Vodka and Pepsi,
yeah.
right? And then they come over here and they get like fucking a nice glass.
No,
some ice cubes. People are just like, who is this guy, bro?
I'm like, I'm about to speak easy right now.
So this is Italian Amaro Nonino.
Oh my gosh, that looks thick.
Oh, it's thick, bro. It's real thick.
That looks like syrup.
This shit is gas, though. I don't think you're ready. This might change your life.
Oh, I'm ready, actually.
I think this might change your life, bro.
See, I love things that can possibly change my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I strive to find in life is like, you know, is this thing that I'm about to do or try or learn about going to change my life?
Yeah.
And I think this might be one of them.
What do you call it? Have you ever, what's the biggest thing that like you found that you learned lately that you're like, wow, I didn't think I needed this in my life?
That's a good question. Working out.
Oh, you just started working out?
Like seriously, you know, like I was the type to work out here and there with no kind of like motive and kind of like I would go to the gym and work out on a machine and see what someone else is doing and then I would just do that next and just cut, you know, like I was just like
same shit, you're just trying to see if you like
but
it.
I also was never really motivated to like look a certain way or to hit certain goals, but I think now I've been pretty consistent and I think it's been helping me like get into a routine and a schedule.
Did you not think working out would have helped you before?
No, because like the lazy side of my mind would always kick in and like, why would I work out when I can like be, I don't know, writing a video or working on this or, but like,
did you not know the science behind it?
I guess I just didn't have an appreciation for like, you know, the practice of being at a gym and just working out and going through different sets. Like I played a lot of sports and I've worked out a lot, like growing up, but now that I'm an adult and doing kind of my own thing and I don't have practice where I work out and
you don't have
stretch,
people telling you where to be,
or responsibilities, I'm like, okay, this is something almost for me now where I can like use that time to help my fitness and wellness or whatever and also like use it for my mental and like
the biggest thing is like, dude, like just the statistics of people working out is shown to like just have like 90% less chance of depression around that stat. I don't know that's exact number.
There's something about working out and just kind of like, you know, you releasing some
well, it's ever since I started working out consistently, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, when I have friends who talk to me about like depression or like being sad and this and that, XYZ, it's hard to relate now because like I'm never sad anymore. And I don't really have
goals.
I don't have like a depression state, you know, that I did have before.
Yeah, like,
you know?
Yeah, you almost don't allow yourself to even get there.
Yeah, never. Like, and like sometimes I'm like, am I weird? Because like a lot of people do have those things every once in a while.
Yeah.
And like sure, like I'll get sad or like I'll be mad that I didn't hit this goal or like feel like I'm behind. But it's not like, oh shit, like I'm gonna sink in this couch and like do nothing because I.
And do you think that goes with just like the type of person you are and the things you've kind of done and experienced? Like maybe you're able to kind of like a lot or put that kind of like mental space into something else when like maybe someone out like people like we were saying, people, they could either make that decision to do something or not. And I think a lot of the times people will choose not to even do something.
Like when people say they have a heart, like they don't know what to do, I'm just like, there's so many things in the world that I would want to do.
And I'm the same way too. I'm like, well, I got an answer for you. Like, ask ChatGPT. Like, I'm depressed. What do I do?
Yeah, bro. Like the amount of people who make like people climb up mountains, like rock climbing.
Yeah.
And and that's all they like doing. So they will be poor as fuck climbing up mountains. And then people sees that they're really good at it. And therefore, like, they'll do a documentary on them or like they'll do a tutorial on them. And then all of a sudden, like, they're making a living because of what they like doing, which is just climbing fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Or like the guy who likes basketball, but all he did was like throwing a ball in a net.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid because you're a professional just throwing a ball in a net, seeing something go through. Like that sounds ridiculous. Or like, I mean, you could say that really about anything. You're like, oh, I do funny skits and I put it on the internet.
Yeah.
And people watch it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, you can.
I mean, that's the goal, I guess, with anything, right? It's like,
but you're like top percentage of doing that. Like the amount of people who make money talking about Smurfs, and they have the #1 Smurfs blog in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, really. And you go to some weird rabbit hole YouTube videos of like topics you wouldn't even think will be talked about on there. I'm like, oh wow, there's a genre for this.
Yeah.
But hey,
like I didn't know cats YouTube was a huge thing, bro.
Cats YouTube? What is that?
Just like videos of cats.
Oh wow.
And it even goes down to like vegan cats, bro. Have you gone to the vegan cat page?
Oh, the vegan cats?
The owners just think that they're vegan, and these cats look miserable and sick because they're vegan.
Oh, they're doing that? I seen like there's a video.
Cheers, bro.
Oh, cheers.
So we got some hazelnut liqueur from Italy.
I'm drinking some foreign stuff right here.
Stuff, baby. Cheers.
Imported. Okay.
You can fuck with that? That's nice, bro.
I like that.
we got Rob. We got Rob on some digestifs, baby.
Wait a minute. The thing is, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was gonna be so like strong and like hard to even
put down, but
surprisingly,
so
nice.
Yeah, there's Italians, bro. They do it different than us. Like they'll go. Have you been to Italy?
No.
They'll eat meals for like 3-4 hours, right?
Oh, really?
And
like at a restaurant or something?
Yeah. And like that's just what you do. Like it's a whole event.
Like you just socialize.
Yeah. Socialize, big thing. Like they don't wake up until later. Like I'd wake up at 7 just to do some shit, and like people won't come out until like 9, 10, and they'll light a cigarette and drink their cappuccino, have a whatever, and they'll be talking for a couple hours.
Yeah. And
then they do the same thing for dinner, and you like lunch isn't really a huge
just
thing.
Like all day just there.
Yeah, and it's in a whole event. They have stages to the dinner process. Like you'll have an alcohol that is to like stimulate your stomach to have your dinner
purposes,
and then you'll have your cocktail at dinner, and then you'll have this after, which like will help digest your food, so like you could like take a shit before you go to bed.
Oh, okay.
So like that's why coffee's such a big thing over there. Like you'll have an espresso at night, like after your dinner. It's not necessarily,
and it kind of helps the bowels
to get through, versus like I don't know, like every time I drink coffee, bro, in the morning I have to take a shit.
Yeah Don't we all?
But then it's double that, bro. Like at night, you're full as fuck. You're drinking this hardcore espresso. It's like, you know, or like a digestif, you know? I've
never had this before.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to use the restroom later.
Yeah.
Dang, the mic's so good. I heard the interaction there.
Rob's first perspective of Italy.
Yeah.
Do you like LA?
I don't hate LA.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, I guess I haven't explored enough to give a good formulated opinion on it, but I've been here.
Do you want to explore more of it?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really go out much, you know, so it's cool though. There's a lot of places to eat.
Yeah. Food's here is insane.
It's like I don't hate it because like
you could get any type of food you want.
I like living out here, you know. It's like I don't, like I said, I'm not out and about, so I can't give you like, oh, I hate this and this about that. But
is that a bad thing? Do you like not going out and about?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like, because there was times when I would always be doing something, but I'm more like, I like being home, you know. I don't. All my friends are back in the IE, like really, you know, like I have a handful of friends out here. Yeah. So whenever anyone wants to hang out or do something, I'm down. But for the most part, I'm just like kicking it at home. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think the importance of being alone is?
I didn't realize the importance of that until like I think I moved out here, and I kind of like moved away from my family and whatnot. And I had those periods of times that I was able to be by myself, and I think in those times you're able to really dig deep into yourself and self-reflect in a way that you haven't before. And I think for me, like leading up to me moving out here, my schedule was crazy all the time, where I was in school and working at school, and
also making these videos.
I was also making the videos,
Yeah.
and I was also directing a dance team, and we would have practice every day, late night, all the way till 12 midnight, and and then go home and edit or whatever.
Yeah.
Because my life was so fast paced, I was doing stuff all the time, like practice, schedule, this and that. I felt like I didn't really have time for myself. Like I didn't even know what that reflection time would even look like, because I was always on the go. Like I had little times in between school or work to eating, to practice or whatever. So now that I moved out and I'm kind of doing a different kind of everyday schedule routine, I was able to kind of really use those moments of, you know, being alone to reevaluate in a way. And I think that's important for anybody to do, and realize that sometimes it's good to kind of sit back and think about, you know, who you are and what you do and what you've done, and who you want to be, I guess.
Who is Rob and who does he want to be?
It's a good question, because it changes every day.
Yeah.
For me, I guess the type of person that I am is like, I like a lot of things. Like I'll be into this and I'll be into that. And I think it's
if someone
relatable
asked
in
you
ways.
like, who are you? What do you do? Like, what's your first thing?
I don't know. I would say like I'm somebody who likes.
You can tell Rob doesn't go out, guys.
No, it's like, that's such a good question, because it's like, what do I even do? I just like to make videos sometimes, and like I'm into making music right now, so I'm kind of doing that. Yeah. Whatever kind of like is sparking my interest in the moment is what I'm kind of pursuing at the time. It's like it's a little that's a harder question to answer, I feel like, because I guess I'm I'm Rob, I'm a YouTuber, but it's much more than that, you know. So I was like, I don't even know what to say though, you know.
Like you so badly did not want to say that, just because like you hear those guys like, hi, I'm XYZ and I'm a YouTuber. Yeah,
because like that. I already know that's going to be clipped, and it's like, you're not a YouTuber, you don't even post videos. And it's like, well, yeah, that's true, but it's like, I guess I don't know, I'm in a different route, I guess.
Yeah. Then I guess like,
and I'm trying to do other things. I'm trying to use different skill sets that I have to do different things.
Yeah, like the music stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's like I'm enjoying that. And like I'm enjoying certain things that I want to. Yeah. You know, I don't know.
What gives yourself? How do you give yourself the permission to do things? Because a lot of people their view of themselves will not let them do things. For example, for me, like I was like, oh, you shouldn't do a podcast because you don't do that. Like that's not who you are, type of deal. And like, and then it takes a lot of courage to like not listen to that voice versus like, hey, like you don't do music. Yeah. Like you're not a rapper that's well known. Yet you gave yourself a permission to be like, nah, like I'm gonna write the song, I'm going to film it, and I'm going to make the quality just as good as any rap video out there.
Exactly. I think because I kind of thought about it in a way where I'm like, I was interested in making videos, and I kind of did what it took to make the videos and improve in making videos, and I never was able to make videos I can make now back then, right? So there was some sort of evolution there, and I was interested in doing that. So it's like in the same aspect, like I'm interested in this thing, and there's nothing saying that I cannot build that thing up, just like I built something else up, because it's like I don't want to box myself into like, oh, I can only do this, I can only do skits about this, or I can only do Apple things. It's like, oh no, it's like, and that almost it hit me when people started just only recognizing me for a certain style of video.
Did you not like that?
It's one of those things where it's like you like it, and then it's like you realize like, well, I don't want to be that just that person, and I'm more than that. I think a lot of people in the entertainment industry, like they struggle with that. You know, you get the one-hit wonders or the viral hits that try to turn that into a certain thing, and it doesn't really work or whatever it is.
Have you read Matthew McConaughey's book? Green Lights?
No, I haven't. I should though.
It's a really good book. It's one of the best books I read in 2022, I think, or 2021. Don't remember. But he talks about his acting career, and he was like the rom-com guy, right? Every movie that he did was like rom-com, and like the only agents that would hit him up were rom-com. And he was like, yeah, I don't want to be known as this guy anymore. Like the romantic comedy guy who like finally gets the girl at the end, this and that. It's just predictable, you know? And so like for over a year and a half, he didn't accept any job. Like he was like, I'll do this movie for 10 million. He said no. Yeah. Then they were like 12 million, no. 15 million, no. 20 million, no. Yeah. And to say no to that money at like when you're not like extremely big, that's a fuck ton of money. Yeah. You know, just because you don't want to identify.
I understand that. Yeah, you don't want to lock yourself into a box because the more you lean into it, you know, the deeper you dig yourself.
You can't dig yourself out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So after like a year and a half of no work and like $15-20 million offers later, they realized like I was like, oh, he's serious. Like we can't put him here anymore. Yeah. And so like he got offers to do more serious roles, this and that, and like that sounds like the point that you're trying to make. You're like, yo, I'm not trying to be the rom-com guy. I'm not trying to be the skits about Apple guy only. Yeah. You know?
No, like, exactly, because as somebody who likes to be creative and considers himself to be somewhat of an artist, right? Like someone that makes things for people to consume and watch and enjoy. I can't lock myself in a box. Like I almost enjoy that challenge of like, oh, you think I'm that guy? Watch, I'm doing this now.
Keep them on their feet, baby.
No, exactly. And I think that's the part that also motivates me is like, I enjoy that part of it too, where it's like I'm able to create something out of nothing, and that's kind of what I built the channel on. And it's like, and if I remain to keep that mindset of like, if I did it for this, like I could apply myself and do it for something else, regardless of people saying, "Oh, you're the skit YouTuber guy," like you can't do that. Well, it's like, well,
it's kind of a challenge.
Before the skit YouTuber guy, I was not that. I was high school, whatever. I don't know. Like I was a wrestler and I did other things like dancer, whatever. Yeah. Right. So it's, you are the master of your own fate. You can you decide how you want people to view you. Yeah. And you can do that. You have the power to do that online.
That's why I guess the concept of reputation is like a relatively big thing, you know, and like the way you act is, I guess, important for the long run, because like people remember not necessarily what you do, but the way you make them feel, you know. And if that's through like a baby eating video versus like an Apple commercial.
Baby eating video.
baby food. We're not eating babies out here, guys.
None of that.
Rob's like,
that probably would have got views though.
Probably. Yeah. How many babies we eat? Yeah. Toys.
How many baby toys? Okay.
But yeah, dude. I mean, like the way you make people feel, I feel like that's why the reason why they would stay with you for, I guess, the longevity of your channel versus, I mean, this is parallel to life too, right? Like your lifelong friends don't know you just as you are now. They've seen your whole progress from like however long you've been friends. And so they've seen you when you were a fuckhead, and they've seen you when you were a douchebag. They've seen you when you were a nice guy. They've seen you in the man who you are today, you know? And they like, but you've always made them feel a certain way. That's why you're still friends. This is similar to like a viewer for a long period of time.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like why I even have the support. Whatever I have now of support is because a video I made or something I've done made somebody feel some type of way, or they liked it, or they resonated with it in a way where they wanted to follow you know, the next thing I do. And I think that's what's most important is finding that foundation of people and fostering that audience that you're able to really connect with, because there's a difference between like having followers and having, I guess, fans versus supporters. Yeah.
There's a difference between being an influencer versus being influential.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
you could either affect someone's life or just be a part of someone's life.
Exactly.
You know?
So like if I'm going to do something and put some time into it, I want to make sure I'm
doing your job for it.
Yeah, like for people that want, like, that's almost, because that's why I'm doing it as well. Is like I'm obviously not posting mindlessly. Like if there's an intention for someone to watch it and feel some type of way and get something out of it. So yeah, that all just ties in, I think, to what reasons why I like doing it.
Yeah. What are you most excited for in your life right now?
Trying new things, like even putting new things out onto the internet and trying new things, building up new business, or you know, like me and my friends have the other channel where we also have a clothing line that goes along with it.
Strawberry Park as well?
Exactly, yeah. So we're having fun like designing the stuff and putting that out, which is a new venture. And then you see the people wearing it and buying it, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's a different type of way of
that's a cool feeling.
Exactly,
it's when people seen wearing your shit. It's the same thing that I get when I see someone who made a cocktail with like my bitters, and I see the bitters bottle next to the cocktail.
Oh yeah, or they'll post you whatever, tag you in it or whatever.
And I was like, dope. Like I don't know, not that many people know about this product, but for this person, they thought it was that good that they made a cocktail with it, and then they posted a photo with something that I made from nothing.
Exactly, and that started just from like you thinking
of an idea.
Yeah.
It's like we had this idea of this candle, bro, and it was like spark your spirits, like physical and like spiritual spirits, right? You know, it's like, and bitters, like it's an additive that you put a spark to it, and you know, it's it's enlightened, you know. And we were just high on the balcony when I was fucking at UCLA, living in this like 3-bedroom apartment, and I was talking to my partner, and I was like, yeah, it was like something enlighten your spirits or something like that, and it was already taken. And then he had a lighter out. We were lighting a cigar or a joint, I don't remember. He was like, bro, what about spark your spirits? What about Inspirit Bitters?
And it was at that moment
that it was made. But like, yo, it came from your brain.
No,
you know?
Exactly.
Like it's just like, where did this come from?
But it takes that person to take the action to break that barrier of, you know, are you going to think about all the people that are saying that you can't do it, or you're going to think about the outside sources saying like, oh, you're not a spirit, you can't make that, you're not that type of person, whatever. But you know what I mean? And then now you got product, you know, it takes a certain individual to you know, do that.
Do you know, that's what sets people. Do you know Phil Knight's story?
I don't know Phil Knight's story.
Phil Knight is the founder of Nike.
Okay.
Oh,
did you watch the new? That's probably off topic. But
Air. No, I did not watch it. My personal training client was actually the head agent of the guy who directed that.
That's cool.
But no, it's similar to that.
Okay.
To that story, kind of. But basically, Phil Knight was only 26 years old, bro, and he didn't know what he wanted to do with his life, and he was traveling the world, and he had this company called Blue Ribbon, and he was a track guy, and he thought about like making his own shoes. And as he went to like Japan and Europe and all this stuff, he was like, oh, like I'm gonna stop by in Japan and just randomly go into a shoe factory and say I want to build shoes, and I'm gonna call it Blue Ribbon. And he ended up getting them to send him like shoes on the way home after his like trip, and Nike was initially started as Blue Ribbon, and like as it came on, it became real. But this dude was 26, 27 years old and didn't know what he wanted to do at all. And like he just thought about like shoes, you know, and like he went all the way to Japan and just decided to go into a company that doesn't speak English and just try to manufacture like shoes for him wholesale that he could send back to the United States at a cheap price. Like that's wild. And look at Nike where it's at today. Yeah.
That's an example. Like, you know, my mom always said this too, like if there's a will, like there's a way. And that there's determination within that. He had that spark of, I have this idea, like it could be a thing. I'll do whatever it takes. Let me just go. It does not hurt to go into this place and ask the place that makes shoes and see if they can make me shoes. You know, it's like you never know.
Yeah.
And you can apply that with anything. Really, it's like, well, I want to learn how to. I don't know. Even if you want to learn how to make shoes, I'm sure you can like find a cobbler and be like, "Hey, teach me how to make a shoe." And then and then before you know it, that kid is like the next shoe designer. It's
I feel like that's even bigger now because I feel like handmade crafts too are like they're getting scarce. A lot of people don't know how to do it. A lot of the world is going to internet, stuff like that. Like
Yeah, that's so true. There's a lot of fast fashion, quick manufacturer, Alibaba.
And there's this one guy I know, he does pottery, and he's been studying in Japan underneath these like master potters. And like
a master potter.
Master potter. Hard. I don't know if that's the actual name, but like it could be a master potter. And they wake up in the morning, they go like mine their shit, and they get the clay, they get the dirt off everything, and now they like melt it, and then they're sculpting it, and then they put it back into the kiln, and now it's like a nice bowl, you know? And like he's making like 20 teacups a day, and like he only started it because he like vibed about like making pottery in the US, and now he's studying under this master potter. Now he's going to be like the top 1% like guy who knows how to do pottery.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And now like each cup that he can sell is probably like $150 like for a teacup.
Yep.
Because it's the most perfect teacup ever made by hand.
Yeah. From the master potter.
From the master potter.
Damn, that's so true.
Yeah, it's wild because like those skills are going away, and like it's so admirable when I see someone really good at like guitar or really good at knitting or really good at making X, Y, and Z. Because I'm just like, whoa.
No,
like,
I agree. That's why I be buying stuff on like Etsy where they got their own shops where they're
making out their garage,
making out their garage, like handmade stuff. Like you can't buy that at stores. You know,
what's something that you value that that you don't like think about money at all about, like it's necessity? Like what do you pay for?
Music. Yeah.
So just Spotify, that's not that expensive.
Yeah, well, I guess.
What did music do for you?
I guess you wouldn't have to like buy it if you like play it on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
You could access it. I just feel like it helps me like get in certain moods or like in a good. I could like always rely on like music to like lift me up. Like I don't know, and not even that though. Just like I enjoy listening to music, so it's like I'll just put on some music and it's just chill out.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know if that answers your question.
I wrote this tweet the other day too. I think it was something along of music is the channel in which our feelings can be articulated.
Yeah.
And
I like finding new artists and like listening to what people got to say.
Yeah.
Because there's a story behind everybody.
Are you a lyrical artist appreciator, or are you a sound artist appreciator?
Both. But I could appreciate the lyricists out there. I guess more than it's not popular. It's like people don't like listening to, wordy like
not anymore.
Not anymore. It used to be popular.
Who are your biggest artists that you look up to?
That's a good question. I don't even know how to answer that.
I'll answer it. For me, it is probably Russ, Ed Sheeran, Kanye West.
Okay.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting Taylor Swift.
And it's because all of them have a different way of telling their story. Yeah, Luke Bryant, honestly, from country.
Yeah.
And I resonate with lyricists way more than I do like sound stuff because like, I don't know, words and me reading shit like hit deep more than like it would for like a buddy of mine to be tripping on Molly and just hear all these sound waves hit them.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, they're having the best time of their life. And I get that aspect too.
Yeah.
But like for me, like the way like words being interpreted in a lyrical, beautiful, poetic manner hit way harder to me than like, I guess like positive sound waves to someone's body.
And I think I'm more on that side. I guess it depends on what kind of mood I'm in, but for the most part, when I'm listening to a song, I'm listening to the words that they're saying and trying to see what they're meaning by it. And, but there would be people that would say like, oh, I only listen to the way it sounds. And if I could vibe with it, if
they could pop and drop it in the club.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Rob doesn't go out, guys.
Nah,
but he could pop and drop it.
I could pop and drop it, At the time calls.
Do you still dance at all?
After I finish this. What?
Do you still dance at all?
No, I mean, I'll take a class here and there, but
you'll still take classes?
Yeah, not nearly as much. Just because it's fun, like I just want to like practice.
I wanted buy you a couple more shots because I was like, I just want to see Rob pop and lock it real quick.
Right.
Because our boy Jason was like, bro, you haven't seen Rob dance. And then I was like, God damn it, bro. Like, now I want to see Rob dance.
It's funny because like no one really knows like. Well, I guess if you've been following me for a while, like you know I'm a dancer, but a lot of people that know me online now like wouldn't even expect or even know that I've danced or that
I would have not thought you
danced.
It was
a big part of my life. Yeah, like from studio dance to collegiate, like on stage, traveling.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how people's lives change so dramatically? Like,
that's also something you realize as you grow up, and it's like, oh wow, like my life is 360. I am not talking to any of these people anymore.
Actually,
I'm not
bro,
doing any of these things
that
anymore.
happened to me recently. I literally unfollowed a decent amount of people from high school because I realized I was like, I haven't seen them in 6-7 years, and why do I care? Why do I care?
Yeah, that's so true. I did a cleanse like that a couple years ago too, and it's like, why am I following these people that I have not even interacted with
in 6-7 years? I mean, like
6-7 years.
What's the benefit of looking at them hanging out with their grandma or new boyfriend?
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about that? Like, I feel like people take social media so serious, though, like too serious in a way where it's like, okay, it's not that serious. Like, okay, like have you unfollowed somebody and they called you out for it or no?
No.
I have. It's happened to me before.
No, well, it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, and
I feel like I just.
But it's like it's not
know
like
that,
I hate you and like I never want to speak to you. It's like, well, you don't even post anything, and it's like we don't talk. It's like
when you haven't posted in 5 years, dude, I'm just like.
And it's like an app. It's like people like will consider that to be like, oh, we're not friends anymore. You know, if you don't follow me.
Well,
if we have because internet and social media is like real life now. You know.
Yeah.
In a
well,
way.
the thing is, like, people got to realize that you are what you eat.
Yeah.
In the sense of like
what you consume and what you look at.
And you look at. And
exactly.
so if you're seeing a good quote unquote friend who you probably see once a month or twice a month or once a year, and like you would say you're relatively good friends, but he's the most negative dude in the entire world. And he's posting shit that just ruins your day. I was like, bro, why would I want you on a screen that I see every day? I love you to death, bro. We'll get beers.
Yeah.
We'll get beers when I see you at home. Like,
just
I'll
like
dab
the
you up,
social
we'll
media
hang
thing,
out.
it's just not, it's fine. I just don't gotta see you on there, you know?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not gonna tell you you're ruining my day, but like, you're ruining my day, bro.
You're ruining my day. Fine. No, I definitely get that though. It's like I try to filter my feed now or like whatever I view, since I feel like I am on it so much.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be things that inspire me, not just like crazy cat videos, you know?
Yeah. I used to follow a ton of like I just did this cleanse like for a ton of stuff too. I was just like, half the people I follow are just really, really hot fitness girls and guys.
Yeah.
I was just like, my feed is just like abs, tits, ass, abs, tits, ass, like arms, abs, tits, ass, arms. And I'm just like, this isn't really beneficial to me in much because like I wanted to do like a lot of bodybuilding and stuff probably like 5-6 years ago, and like potentially like work more in the gym space, run a gym, this and that. But like my avenues has changed, and I was like, this doesn't do anything for me anymore. I'm not trying to connect with all these people. And the funny thing is, like, just doing the podcast and stuff like that, it's actually gotten me closer to them, you know, because like I have a lot of fitness people on. I have the number one physiology professor at Cal Poly on, and this guy who came into my bar yesterday, I'm not the type of dude to get like fangirl like LeBron's come in, a lot of like movie stars come in, it's like whatever, act normal. But this guy who came in, and I watched every single fitness reel or YouTube video about him, came in and just sat right in front of me. I was like, hey dude, big fan, I've been watching you for like 6 years. All right, what do you like to drink, sir? And then now he's like, all like dope, he followed me on Instagram, and like he wants to work out and this and that, and I'm just like, fuck. Like me just not like trying to get into the fitness industry in some way has got me closer in the fitness industry.
Yeah, I gotta sign up for one of your classes
every Wednesday, bro. Roll through.
What is it, like in the morning or what?
4 p.m., 5:15, 6:30.
What does it consist of?
This is upper body. This is like barbell stuff, kettlebell stuff.
Is it like, so just like a class type of thing?
Yeah, it's class, but it's similar to personal training because at 45, where I used to coach at or sometimes sub at still, is like 30 people. This is max people in your class is 10 people.
Oh, nice.
And so usually it's like 5-6 people, very intimate. And like we focus on technique. That's with the barbell, with the kettlebell, like really movements that like are just intimidating, but like you have the proper guidance to do it. Cause like if you walk into a normal gym, you see all these like guys like just like lifting shit and you're like, I don't know how to do that. And I don't want to hurt myself. Okay, take that away and then put you in a space where you feel safe. You only have 6 people. And like you have someone who's articulating the movement for you. And then you're like, oh, okay, it's not that intimidating. And then you build up 5 pounds to 10 pounds to 15 pounds to 20 pounds. And now you're like, now you're doing your shit, you know? And
that's what I need.
Yeah. Come take class, bro.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look nice, you know?
Oh, so now you care?
I'm more motivated now, where in a way I'm like, I want to see if I can get a 6-pack.
Yeah, it's
I
a new
want to see if I
challenge.
can build. It's a new challenge, and I like that. So I'm like, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm gonna build up today. You know, I'm gonna work out and see. I gotta catch up though.
No, you're good.
This is nice,
dude. It's
I've
real
never
nice.
tasted this before.
It's a new feeling in your mouth.
It is.
If you guys have not tasted Amaro before, it's like if syrup, alcohol, and like herbaceousness had a baby, that's what you get.
Yeah, I can't even put it together. I can't even put my tongue on it, but I just did.
Oh God.
Oof.
So what's the, I guess, next steps for you in terms of just like your channel or everything like that? Like, do you want to continue with it? Because obviously you don't post a lot.
Yeah.
And
definitely want. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead. It's just
yeah,
like
I definitely want to
basically
continue with it, but I think the fun part is now is like introducing new things and trying new things.
Is like YouTube, is YouTube money like legit?
It can be. Yeah. Obviously, like if I'm not posting like every week, you're not looking at the same amount you're getting if you're posting every week and getting a certain amount of views, and you know.
So I guess why wouldn't you take advantage of posting every week when knowing you have this following at this time in your life?
Yeah, so I think I lucked out in a way where I also have another channel that we've been building up.
Okay, and that one's doing,
and it's doing well right now. Yeah. So I'm using a lot of my time to, you know, focus on, you know, I'm editing the thumbnails and we're editing and we're filming like multiple times a week reaction videos or vlogs or whatever it is, and then we got the clothes that we're trying to design and make some cool stuff that people might want to wear that's different than, you know, what other people are trying to do, so keeping up with that. So I've been having fun doing that and using my time with that. And also thinking about what I can turn my channel that I've built up to. I got like, I don't even know how much subs I have, 1 point something million, or
it's definitely
2 million, 2 point something.
How do you not know you have 1.9 or 2 point something?
2 point something, whatever.
I feel like 2 million is like, you know, you've got at least 2.
Yeah, I guess I haven't said that in a while. Like I haven't told somebody like I have this many subs. I just kind of 2 million. Now that I remember.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm into new things right now, and I'm just want to explore that and see how I could introduce that into my channel. Yeah. Instead of keep doing the same things that I'm not really, not that I'm not having fun doing, just kind of like I want to expand and trying to, you know, put my mind to different things and challenge myself to do XYZ, whatever it is, you know. And I think that's the beauty of it too. It's like I could kind of like think of an idea and see, okay, can I like put this on the channel or make a creative way to, you know, put this in somehow. And I think that's what makes it fun.
It doesn't even seem like you're phased about like switching paths at all. Like it doesn't seem like you care. I mean, you might, like, you don't care necessarily of like what your audience like will say or do. It's just like, you know that they're going to come along with you. You feel like you're so you seem so comfortable in this spot.
That's the thing. I guess I never really viewed like, I'm thinking about it like as I like doing this and I've done other things that I like to do and people liked, and you I'm hoping people like the certain new things that I do. If they don't, it's just something you can build anything up, right? Like, even if I start over, like, you can do it. Anybody can do it. I just don't want to live my life and do my career in a way where I have to kind of like be controlled by certain things. Or it's like, I kind of want to do what I want to do pretty much.
Yeah. My definition of happiness, bro, is doing what you want to do when you want to do it with the people who you want to do it with, regardless of money.
Yeah. I like that.
That's
it right there. That's it right there. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So but, I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, I love that, bro.
It's like you invited me on the podcast. I wanted to do it, and that's what we're doing.
And we're doing it.
That's what we're doing.
It's so funny because, like, I'm to the point now where, like, if you see someone who has proof of what they say is who they are, then it's just like you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's...
So say I had, like, 3 podcasts. Right, and I just did 3 episodes. Like, okay, what the fuck is this guy doing? Regardless of how good they are, how many views, it's like, oh, this guy says he does podcasts and he interviews people over a long period of time. Or someone who, like, plays chess. Like, not a lot of people play chess, but someone's like, oh, do you guys want to play chess? And then you look at the guy's like chess app, and he has like over 10,000 games logged in. You're like, oh fuck, sure, let's play chess.
Yeah, no, really. Perspective is reality. You can say anything and convince anybody of anything in a way, right? Yeah. Like, I could have met you and said I knit things, right? And you would think I'm a knitter.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think people could read through the bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you told me that you were a knitter and you weren't, there would probably be an inkling in my head. I'm just like, Rob is bullshitting me. This guy doesn't knit.
Yeah. Even if you saw my knitting in it, it was just not good.
Yeah.
You can still think that, and that would be true.
I mean, we get this all the time, bro. I mean, I've been in the restaurant industry for a long time, and there's been a lot of actors in LA. And the first thing that someone says is like, oh, I'm not a server. I'm not a whatever. I'm an actor. Like, that's all I do. And I'm like, okay. What have you been in? Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to be a dick about it or anything like that. That's just like a reality. It's like, if you tell me an actor, and then I see like your website with like your IMDb that has like 50 episodes of like behind the scenes acting. I'm like, oh, that's legit.
Yeah.
You know, like you have proof that what you say is who you are. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah. So I guess that's why it wouldn't be worth it to say you're something that you're not.
Yeah. I mean,
but you can see through it, though.
There's a whole thing that people say, fake it till you make it, dude. And I hate, dude, so many of my like relatively successful friends out here still say that. Yeah. And I'm just like, how can you say that?
I think that only works if you can like actually like fake it. But like, the thing is like people can't fake it well. People can't fake. So it's like, what's the point? Like, you're right.
Like, I feel like you have to truly believe in it, like, into an unhealthy way. Like, if you're actually not an actor, like, the proof, but you truly believe you are. Like, you have no doubt in your mind you are. And by that, like, your confidence goes off and, like, you book these roles because you just come in and walk in and you're like, I'm the fucking man. Yeah. When you might not be at the time. Like, that is the only thing that I see that it's like fake it till you make it.
Isn't it? Wouldn't there be no such thing of them even faking it or trying it? It's like.
What do you mean? It's just that's who they are.
That's what they're doing,
they're
right?
They're acting right now.
At what point are you that? Do you become that?
I don't know. Okay.
You got to have the credit, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you now. Like, when did someone come up to you and be like, yo, Rob, like, what's good? Like, you're awesome. Like when was the feeling when you're like, oh shit, like, I'm actually a YouTuber, or I'm actually, you know, like, because that's that feeling. That's the tipping point.
Yeah. And I think,
like, when was that for you? I'm actually curious that you felt that way.
I guess I never really truly felt that way till recently. Like, when people started really coming up to me, like, more than oft, like, I mean, it would be like I went to Coachella and a handful of people came up to me, and I went the next day, went somewhere else, and someone came up to me at the mall, and I'm like, okay, that's when it hits me. I'm like, okay, I'm in 2 random spots and 2 random things, and people are coming up to me. But but even back then, like I was at a restaurant one time and some girl came up to me and wanted to take a picture, and I was like, oh, that was like the first time that it ever happened.
Yeah. And
I mean, that's kind of when I realized, oh, I can reach a lot of people. Like, I can reach
But that's
anybody.
the proof of concept, bro. That's what I'm saying is like, you had so many videos that people stay with you and know you because what you say is who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, what I put out is who I am.
Yeah.
So that's also, I think about that when I'm trying to do new things as well. So it's like, well, if I put this out, this is what am now. This is what I'm doing. This is the journey. This is the lore of the channel now. I also like not doing YouTube and doing the YouTube stuff a lot. Like, there's a lot of people, and I say this because this is what I used to say a lot, is like, I promise I'm gonna make a video if I do this or that, and you promise the audience so much, and it did a lot to me. I'm like, oh, if I didn't do that, I would feel like they were viewing me in a different way, letting them down. Yeah. So I kind of learned, okay, let me not say anything and build it off of, like
your desires when you want to put it out.
When I want to put it out, and almost
the quality,
and people kind of pick up on that. So it's kind of like, you could run your channel and you could run your business in any way you want. And I think with mine, it's like, I still don't even know what I want to do, but it's an endless journey of how it's going to form, what is it going to turn into next. And I think that's what kind of like gets me to it gets me going. I'm like, what's the next thing? Yeah. And I think that's what everyone thinks. That's what any YouTuber, anyone who makes videos is like, what's going to be my thing? Yeah. What's going to be something that people resonate with, and what's going to go viral? Yeah. But who knows? Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. The unknown, dude. So many people are uncomfortable in the unknown. Like, that's why I feel like a ton of people are afraid of like death or something. They just don't know what's going to happen. So therefore, like, you dedicate your whole life to a religion or dedicate it to, I don't know, a certain belief, the Buddha, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever you believe in. Whatever you got faith in,
Whatever you got faith in, because like, you just don't know. And that feeling of like, I don't know, like, it's scary. Yeah. And to be comfortable in that's kind of like a superpower, Yeah. Superpower, bro.
I agree with that. You got to be built different.
Yeah, or have a lot of alone time and really like do some deep work.
Yeah, I think there could be also is too much alone time bad?
I think so, because we're social human beings, right? And we need interaction to be able to like grow, reproduce, and like that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to think about like when I'm alone, I'm loading up, like I'm buffering, It's like,
dude, it's recharging time.
Like,
it's like, yo, I'm gonna walk out of this door and I'm gonna be undeniably fucking me.
The older I got, the more I realized like how important that time really is.
Yeah. Also, if you're just around other people all the time and just taking somebody else's opinions, you don't never get the chance to decide what your own opinion is. Yeah. It's like that alone time's like, okay, my friend said this, another friend said that. They're different. Yeah. Which one's right?
Yeah, you have that time to reflect and actually like.
Yeah, and the next time you have a conversation with a friend, it's good to know that you might not be the person who's right. Like, you're open-minded to it, and it's a constant like cycle of just like inputs and you pausing, and then you decide what your output is. Yeah. Heck yeah. That's deep. What do you call it? What do you have any advice, bro? For I guess like I have cousins out there, dude, who are like. 13, 14, and like my dream is to be a YouTuber, and like a lot of people out here want to, adults too, me, like trying to get this podcast into the world. It's like, it's like, what advice do you have to people who have a desire to, I guess, like be known on the internet and make a living off technology?
That's a good question. And that's something I try to think about every day, but I think a lot of people get lost in the sauce,
what
right?
Do you mean?
If something's trending or popular, like everyone will do it, right? And if everyone's doing the same sort of thing, you're lost in the sauce.
Well, the thing is, the chances of you finding out about something cool and then you start doing it's already old.
But I think you got to think about, like, how can I make it my own? How can I do my own thing? Like, right, I always think about like different styles of content on YouTube, and like take the Mr. Beast style, right? That's such a popular style nowadays, and everyone's striving to do those types of videos. But then I think about it in a way where I'm like, well, if I did that, like videos like that, people are gonna look at me as like, you're the guy that makes videos like Mr. Beast, right? And this is just an example because there's just so much different content on YouTube, but this is how I look at it, right?
It's infinite right now.
It's infinite, right? I just want to be viewed as somebody that, like I said, when you're lost in the sauce or whatever, you don't have an opportunity to shine, I feel like. So if you're not constantly thinking about how I can make myself different or stand out, if you're not thinking about that, then I think that's when I just think that helps, right? To think about, okay, if I'm gonna do a podcast, like, what can I do to make it different, or who can I have on it, like, because I know how compacted the thing is, saturated now, you know. So it's like, I think some good advice would be just to stay true to like what you like to do and like what makes you happy, because you might get lost in this sauce too much to the point where it's like, oh, you're not even happy doing this sort of thing. So it's like, in the long run, what really helps is like doing what you love to do, what you want to do.
Like, create the things that you want to make.
Create things that you want to make, because even if it's not getting the quick views now or the quick success now, it's like, I think in the long run, it'll always pay off. And I think that would be one thing. But any other advice? I don't know.
Like, for a young kid out there,
if you're curious, like, I would say try to spark your curiosity more, like, or even if you're watching something or consuming something, like, think twice about it.
Like, why am I watching
this? Why
am
I watching this? Or like, do I like this? And if I like this, like, what if I learned how to do this? What if I did this too? Because maybe some people just watch things without thinking about things.
Some of the greatest advice that I got is like, instead of consuming, make what you would consume, and then you would learn more.
Yeah. Okay, that's good, right? Because it's like, if you're watching that, it's like, well, why not do that too? And then you learn more about it as you're doing it.
Yeah. Like, for example, it's like learning about the stock market or something, investing. It's like, you learn more by doing it. Or like sales. Someone could teach you how to sell something for hours, but you won't be a good salesman until you get the reps in.
Yeah. You get the experience.
You could watch a ton of fitness videos day in and day out, bro, but then you look at yourself, bro, you're like, okay, we're watching one more fitness video, I'm gonna be looking good tomorrow.
I know everything I know to get abs in 2 weeks. I haven't done anything yet, but
it's all in here. I'm working it.
It's all right here.
Yeah, there's this the concept's called like what's it? Mindful masturbation or something like that. You're just like jacking off your mind to these videos. You know, just like, it's this pleasure of dopamine, just like, oh, I understand it, I get it, it's happening. When in reality, you ain't doing shit, dude.
No, exactly. And I catch myself doing that too, where I'm like, let me save this video for later. Let me put it in a certain folder about things I need to learn more about, and I never go back and look at them. But yeah, I mean, I guess you like to think that.
What's your definition of success?
Just being happy, I guess, as happy as you can be, or whatever makes you feel the happiest. Yeah. And being able to help other people while you're doing it. I think that's a good definition. So a lot of people talk about... It's pretty broad, though. Yeah. A lot of people talk about success in a numbers game, though. They talk about like a dollar amount in their bank account, usually. Yeah, that's true. I guess I never really viewed it in that way, because I never even what brought me success when I first started it, I didn't even view it as a thing that, you know, I think nowadays, where if people wanted to start a channel, you almost need a plan, and you need a game plan.
It's possible.
It's possible,
but
yeah.
like there's a lot of effort more than I guess you had in the beginning, just because it was such a low barrier to entry back then.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there wasn't that many people making videos either. It was like I said, there was a handful of creators like Smosh, Tyler Oakley, and Niga Higa, and all them. I'm a big fan of Niga Higa.
Yeah, that's the only person I know.
Yeah, he actually inspired a handful of my videos.
Do you think, back to what you just said right now, someone else inspiring some of your videos, do you believe that you have to be entertained to entertain?
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
do you have to be entertained to entertain?
Oh, do I have to be entertained to entertain?
For example, is like a lot of actors will watch a lot of movies because they're being entertained and getting in this feedback from people who like them to create stories that are not created yet.
What, like drawing inspiration almost, or like?
Yeah. So it's like you're inspired by other people like you or some person.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
you have to be entertained by these people.
Oh, exactly. Like I love watching something I've never seen before, like a creative idea where I'm like, I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah.
And that almost like pushes or like inspires me to like think of something, or how can I make something like this? Yeah.
I always think about this concept, dude, of like just the internet, and I have a lot of like friends now who've made money off the internet and just or have a business online or X, Y, and Z. And like again, I've worked in like the hospitality industry a good amount, and I'll see like these ladies in their like 50s like working for $17 an hour, like 60 hours a week, like just lying sheets and stuff, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, like
damn,
like, and I'm over here slinging drinks and making like 4x like what they make, right? You know, and I'm just like, they're working harder than I am in terms of just like physicality and tiredness, and I'm just like, is that fair? You know, like
it's fair because I mean, hey, everybody got the same access in a way, you know.
They do, but it's just like unknown.
It is.
Like what you're talking about right now and the things that you say, you're talking about it very confidently in a normal manner. And like there's a lot of people on this podcast who are from a different country or different aspect of life who are like,
it's so different.
This is not real.
Different language.
This is not real.
Yeah.
You know? And like that's just like a concept that is really crazy, because to that lady who does sheets and everything like that, she doesn't know that people are making $500 a night bartending, let alone someone who's making thousands of dollars from a 3-minute YouTube video.
You're right, but then I have those moments too where I'm like, you're making how much from selling like pictures of your feet or something? I'm like, oh wow, like the internet and the like,
bro, like people are selling farts. Like in
farts
jar, like
jar
for
farts.
Thousands of dollars, bro.
Damn.
I'm just like,
okay, who's spending $1,000 on a fart, bro?
Bro,
you gotta be down bad.
I have OnlyFans
cataclysmic
friends who like they only have tits and feet, bro, and they're making. I mean, they only post photos of tits and feet, and they're making $20K a month.
So see, things like that makes me want to stop the podcast and start doing that. Damn,
bro, I bet if you advertised like Rob's feet photos with like whipped cream on it or some shit,
Rob's feet pics, you
wouldn't low-key sell it.
Come on now.
I definitely would buy.
See, it's already one subscription
right there, bro. $30 a toe. Rob was like, damn.
Wait, yeah, no, I'm charging per toe if I'm doing that.
Per toe,
per nail,
per toe, per nail, dude. What do you love about YouTube and what do you hate about YouTube?
What I love about YouTube is the reach and the audience, like the feedback, and just the platform in itself. Like, bro, I mean that's the or what is it? The search engine. The second is Google, then YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm. Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming again. Appreciate you.
No, honestly, thank you for having me. Yeah, this is cool.
This is dope.
Yeah, thanks for the platform.
Yeah.
And what do I hate about YouTube? I hate that it changes so frequently. But that's not YouTube's fault. That's just like life and humans and just technology is changing so quickly. So it's like, yeah, if you're trying to have a career on YouTube, like you got to be ready for
you gotta be on your toes.
You got to be on your toes. And I'm glad that I get to be with Ryan and Noah that also are doing YouTube, and we can do it together, because it's not an easy thing.
Does that keep you sane?
Most definitely.
That you have a space to share it with other people who are like you?
Yeah. I think if I was doing it, it would be so different. I think that's why it's like everything kind of shifted once I moved in with people and started working with people that were, you know, in the same sort of lane.
Or job.
Yeah.
It's like this is what they do for a living,
definitely.
too.
I think that's important. It's like the people you surround yourself with are very important.
Yeah. It's like weird out here. So a lot of my friends in the fitness world record themselves working out all the time, and it's just a normal thing. Like you'll record like the workouts, you'll do it together, do events, and like I remember I think I was at UCLA at the time, and I went back home and I was recording like a kettlebell like garage circuit, and like friends were like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, what is that shit? You know, like, and it was just like made me feel so bad. I was like, is this wrong? But then it's so normal out here. It's so normal, like with the people who I surround myself with, bro. And then you realize that you were just hanging around with the wrong folks, you know, because the people who you're around, they should always celebrate your wins, and they should always question why you're doing things. And you have to develop an answer, a good answer of why you are. Because you have a good answer of like why you're doing the things you're doing, then you could explain that to anybody.
Yes.
And the good friends do that for you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I feel I'm blessed that I get to live with people that I get to share the struggles with being a YouTuber, and what
are the
can
struggles
we do
of being
now.
a YouTuber?
The struggles of being a YouTuber. I think that.
What's your next video, bro?
What's the next viral hit?
The struggles of being a YouTuber. It's all.
That's it. That's literally it. It's like figuring out what's next. What are you gonna do? What's the next big thing?
Yeah.
Unless you got something going for yourself.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a set. I don't know. The hardest thing would be just creating videos nowadays, where it's like you got to keep up with like the people that are like using crazy production and spending thousands of dollars on YouTube videos. Videos aren't the same anymore. It's just not the same of what it used to be.
How much money are people putting into YouTube production now?
It's like the people are building their own shows. Like you know what I mean. When back then, like I said, it was just like jump cuts in your room. Yeah. Now it's
like, dude, it's legit ass production now.
Yeah.
Like they're like movies too, like comedy specials and all this stuff. Also, speaking of, that's what I wanted to ask you. I was like, you're very comedical. Is that a word? Comical. Comedial. You're very comical on your like videos. Like there's a lot of sarcasm in your writings and everything like that.
Yeah.
And what do you think the importance of like comedy is, the importance of like laughter, the importance of like saying something and not taking it necessarily seriously, but you know there's some truth behind it?
I mean, everyone loves to laugh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I love watching videos that I could just laugh at.
Laugh your ass off.
So I'm like, okay, if I can write some jokes in that I think are funny, I'm sure other people might think they're funny.
Yeah.
And I just know what that can do. Like, I like watching funny movies. Like, that's my favorite genre of, like, movies to watch.
Some Step Brothers shit or what?
No, exactly. So, like, so I'm like, I grew up quoting, like, the bench warmers all day, like, with my cousins or whatever. So, I think I just always had a thing for, like, comedy or, like... That's why I just try to base my channel off of like, okay, well, how can I sneak in a joke here and make somebody giggle? What's your writing process like? I'll just like scatterbrain notes onto a notebook of like, if let's for example like an Apple video, I'll just like write, or I'll like research about it. Like it depends on what the video is. You know, they're very researched, by the way. Yeah, research. You gotta research. You know.
I feel like the best comedians are on top of their shit in terms of like what's going on.
Yeah, because you'll get called out for it too. Like if you're gonna stand up there and say a joke, like you gotta be right.
Yeah.
You gotta like have your info right, or the joke won't hit or whatever.
Yeah, they'll do your research on you after the joke.
No, exactly. And like almost the joke won't even hit if the research isn't. If it's off, it's like, okay, well that's not even funny because that only makes sense.
Yeah. It's like if you said the iPhone was like, oh, the iPhone 13 is just like the iPhone 14 and it's round and curved, and then like it's actually like a fucking square.
No, exactly. It's like, okay, that would have been funny if it was the same, but they added something new. Yeah, exactly.
But you know that for a fact because you did your research on it.
They know, pros, yeah. And I think that's why I like kind of, making sure I have, before I film, like having some sort of structure of like.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
Anything, everything. I watch videos, people I meet. Like, who knows? Sometimes, like, I'll see something in public and I'll just write it down in my notes. Notes app.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran does that a lot.
Notes.
He writes most of his songs on the Notes app in Apple.
Yeah, I'll think of a bar and I'm like, okay, I got to write that down. Or maybe I'll use it one day.
For rapping?
I'll think of an idea. I'll be like, okay, I got to. Or I see somebody do something, I'm like,
do you do poetry at all?
Do I what?
Do poetry at all?
Poetry?
Yeah, like write poetry.
No, I never tried writing poetry.
It's similar to rap.
That could be cool.
Yeah. I mean, so
I should do a slam poetry.
Dude, so that was the thing that happened. Like, I went to UCLA and I went to. Have you been to the Poetry Lounge?
No.
Damn, bro. I got to take you there.
Sounds fun.
So it's basically where people go up and spit just poetry.
You're snapping.
Yeah, snapping. And like it's some deep shit. Like someone's mom committed suicide and they're talking about that shit. Or they're talking about like love or whatever. And like again, like I would say poetry is the same thing, but like music and poetry are the channel in which you could articulate your feelings, you know, in a beautiful manner that's like understandable and digestible. Because like if someone dies in your family who you're super close to, like you're just sad. Okay. Like how do you articulate that sadness in a way that other people can understand? And like that's
so I guess you can say like music is poetry in a way.
Same thing. Yeah. And but like obviously there's different structure to music versus the structure. Yeah. But like that's the importance of like art and the stuff that you're doing or some of the stuff that I'm doing too, is because like art it makes people feel a certain way. It's subjective though. You know?
It draws some sort of emotion for sure, yeah.
Like why are some paintings worth $1 million while some are worth 10,000?
Yeah.
Or why does someone look at your YouTube channel versus someone who is just as funny or funnier than you? Mm-hmm. It's because of the art. It's because of like the way you do it. Yeah. It's because of something that is so valuable to the world that's the reason why you get more views. Yeah. That's the reason why like a Picasso painting is worth way more. It's because the way it makes you feel. It's because the way that there's something about it. You can't necessarily put a finger on it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, and it's such a crazy concept being on the creator side of making the stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't even think about it like that sometimes, where I'm like, I'm just making a video that I just want to make, and then damn, like people watch this.
Like, why do you think your shit is objectively, by the amount of views you have, better than other people's?
I think what goes into the video, and I think what that would be is like time of trial and error of learning how to edit and knowing pacing and what's funny and what resonates with an audience. It could come with like just knowing how to light and film a video properly. Yeah, I think there's a
lot of things.
There's
a lot of inputs go in.
A lot of inputs that go in that you can recognize now that you couldn't before. Yeah. And I could watch a video from somebody else that maybe try to do recreate something that I did, and I'm like, okay, you can see the distance there of there's some room for growth, and there's videos I see where I'm like, one day I can get to that level. Yeah. And I think there's just levels to it, you know. And that's all Yeah. It's like, and you never know with videos on YouTube. It's like you could post something and it's like, oh, I did not mean for that to get any sort of
art is
crazy
subjective,
views.
bro. You don't know.
Art is subjective.
It's like you don't know what's gonna hit.
Yeah,
you don't know what's gonna hit.
And every one of my like viral hits were like videos made without the expectation of them even being big viral hits.
What's I guess the quantification of being viral? Because someone came up to me yesterday and was like, oh yeah, my TikTok went viral, and then I looked at it and it was like 22,000 views, and I was like,
what's viral like nowadays?
I was like, that's a lot of views, but like also this video got 9 million views.
Think about that's way less. That's a good question, because even like back then, like viral was 1 million views.
Yeah.
But now like TikToks are getting 1 million views overnight.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that viral or what's viral?
What's viral
now?
Yeah.
Is viral, does it got to be on the news for it to be viral?
But the thing is just there's also so many more people on the internet.
That's the thing. There's just too many people, so it's like
what's how do you quantify it?
There used to be like Charlie bit my finger, like viral videos.
Charlie.
Now there's a
Charlie
viral video every day. Exactly. Right? We don't have those like. Yeah. It's
I
more
think I was
more
in
rare to have
grade
those
when
moments.
I saw that fucking shit.
Yeah. How old are they now?
I don't know, bro. They're fucking grown adults.
I wonder if they.
100%. They're probably 18.
Nah, I feel like they're older. How old?
Probably 20.
No, they're probably.
Maybe they're
hopefully they're fine. Hopefully they're good, you know?
Yeah. Dude, that's one thing that, like, I don't envy. Like, people who got famous young or people who have a lot of money from a young age, they're some of the saddest people that I've ever met.
Yeah, you see a lot of stories about that. Like, this Disney stars and the child actors that just kind of lose it.
Yeah. How do you feel being, like, you seem like a very humble guy, and I mean that in the most genuine way possible. And like I feel like the status that you have, you're welcome. The status that you've like built like hasn't really affected you like a lot of people who have the amount of subscribers or followers, other people of that same caliber like do. Like you don't seem like affected by it that much. And it is a thing now. Like it is a status symbol having certain amount of followers or this and that. But there's also the old money people who don't give a fuck, right? There's like the Warren Buffetts of the world who don't have a social media, this and that. They got billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Different level.
But like there's this like I guess like age gap between like I don't know 16 and 35 that they put a huge value on followers, who put a huge value on like the status of like a blue check mark or this and that. And you've done, it seems like from me knowing in the short amount of time and the content that I've viewed from you that you're relatively pretty humble and it doesn't really affect you that much.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, yeah, I guess I just try to stay true to just who I am, and I just always, you know, I can never be somebody I'm not, you know, like anytime I'm out of character, like I'll just know that I'll remember of like I was once that hungry kid that wanted to be a YouTuber and create videos, and I was happy with, you know, 20 views on a video. I remember when my first video got 100 views, I ran up to my parents. I said, this could fill up a whole theater right now if I wanted to.
Really?
Like think about like
that's how you quantified it.
Yeah, I was like
100 people is a lot of people, bro.
No, that's a lot. Exactly. I'm like, if you think about it, like we were talking about earlier, like if you put them in front of you, that's a lot of you know, people.
Yeah.
So
I was just talking about just you having the ability to stay humble with the status of you, just the objective status of followers. Yeah,
and that's just what it was. I just kept, I had to work for everything that I had. So I think you get a different sort of outlook on
life
and what you get and the success you have or get or receive. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so it's still hard for me to grasp sometimes.
Why?
Because like I film these videos in my room and I upload it, and then the next day it'll have like views or it'll be a video that will blow up. And I'm like, oh wow, okay, well, I don't think any human is like equipped to know how to handle this sort of thing. So it's like
I don't think it's natural.
It's not natural, and it's like if you can't take hate comments or like the internet is brutal. Like people will like be brutally honest with you.
Yeah, it's a real thing, dude. Like it's committed. Some people have committed suicide from the internet just because of just like hate comments and stuff. Like it's a gnarly place, and the fact that like I could be me and I could get a fake Instagram, Twitter, XYZ and put Pikachu on it, like where you said, and be like, you suck at this, blah blah blah, this and that, and like I could do that to anybody. Yeah,
I know, and there's nothing wrong with being anonymous online, but like those are also the accounts that will say those sort of things, Yeah. When it's like, okay, well, what type of truth is in that, and who are you? You're an 8-year-old kid that don't know anything about who I even am. So it's like,
do you still feel like a kid?
I do still feel like a kid.
LA is a weird thing, bro, because like I have friends who are back home the same age, like 2 kids, 5 dogs, house, backyard.
I'm like, bro, my friend hit me up and is like, he's planning on getting married or whatever. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, we're
that age, bro.
I had to look in the mirror. I said, okay, yeah, wait, okay, I should probably
or not.
I mean, but that just goes. It puts into perspective like how crazy and just unpredictable it is. Yeah, like people you would hang out with are like doing different things
things,
like totally different. Yeah.
Would you change anything about what you're doing now?
No.
You don't want to be like that guy having like 5 kids and like a ranch and like.
No, I mean, hey, that could have easily been me, and I guess if that was it, there would be no problem with that. But, what I've done and where I'm at now has led me to do some exciting things. So I'm excited to see, you know.
What is your definition of happiness? I gave you mine.
That's a great question. I always just equate it to like, okay, what are the things in life that I like to do and participate in? And I just want to do more of that. And the more that the time goes by and I get older, I'm starting to say no to more things, and you start to realize like, oh, you only want to do things that make you happy and only do things that truly like inspire. I don't know, it's like, no, it's true. When I was younger, like I would have to just do things because I signed up for it, or I was just part of it. My parents told me to do this or that. Yeah, it's like
also that you have a ability to be just like a yes man because you want to go to things that people like.
Yeah, that you get to practice like kind of being your own person and doing things only you want to do, and like we were saying earlier, is like anything you do and anything you surround yourself with is a piece of who you are in a way. So
that's way more important than you think.
Yeah, so it's like you got to think about it now. It's like maybe I should say no, or maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't really resonate with this anymore.
Yeah, dude.
So I guess that would be what makes me the happiest. So what is my definition of happy? Doing things I love it's such a. With people that I love, it's like the same thing you said.
What you want to do with the people who you want to do it, when you want to do it with.
When you want to do it with. I'd be happy if I did that every day.
Yeah, what you want to
do. I wouldn't care about anything else.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that.
Steal it, bro. It's crazy because like sometimes those people aren't your family because like your family wants the best for you, right? But like sometimes it's not necessarily who you want to do the things with and when you want to do it with them, because like they have this like perceived version of you. Like that's why I don't like going home, dude, because like friends or family, like they know you as this person who you are not now.
Yeah.
And then they say stuff to you as if you were the person that you were when you knew them, or they knew you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, sometimes I have to be stern. I'm like, hey, that's not me anymore. Don't speak that over me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, exactly. And it's like people will be quick to say that you changed, or this is changed you. And
of course we changed, bro. And that's just evolution of who human beings are.
And it's like, it almost is telling of a person for them not to even realize like, oh, we're older now. Like, well, life has happened and this is where we're at in life and this is what we're doing. Yeah. But thinking about life is crazy.
How often do you think about it?
Every day.
Yeah? What about life do you think about every day?
How often do you think about death?
Every day.
Yeah, I do too.
I think about it every day because it's the only motivator that keeps me doing the things that I do every single day.
I think everyone thinks about death every day.
I don't think so.
Is that dark to say?
No, I don't think it's...
No, I don't think so either, because there was a time when I didn't even I wasn't even thinking about that. And I strive to like almost be back in like those childlike days where we don't think about it. You don't think about that, and you're almost just like, you know what I mean? Like being in that. That's why people like being in that.
I used to think about it too much to the point where like I would get crazy anxiety and depression, and then I was really afraid of death because I'm just like, what happens? Right. I feel like it's a valid question. A lot of people talk about that. A lot of Stoics, philosophers, right? And then I took mushrooms for the first time, and like I just had this like crazy trip, and it was really, really, really healthy. And then ever since then, like I was peace of mind about it. It's like it's okay to be in the unknown. Back to our various point.
Oh wow, okay.
You know, and then I could smoke weed again, and just I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. It's like it's okay that you don't know. You know why? Because every other person who's ever lived in the entire universe does not know as well.
Yeah. And that gives you some sort of peace of mind.
And it does, right? But then you expand, like, for me, I did a lot of hiking growing up, and, like, I took one of my clients 3 years ago to the Pacific Crest Trail. It's the second darkest skies in the world. Oh, and shoot. You see, like, planets and stars, like, so close to you, right? Okay. Like, it's the clearest skies in the world. There's no one around you. And you're like, yo, you're a small, tiny thing in this huge universe, in this galaxy, and do you really matter?
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
Like now you're fighting over, you're complaining about likes, you're complaining about a friend not liking you or a girlfriend and this and that. Yeah. When like, yo, just be content on this earth, bro.
Whenever I think about that, it always just like humbles me in a way or grounds me, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like dude, you're not that important. No one's important.
Yeah, you're so right.
Because if you expand the time horizon long enough, no one's gonna remember you.
No. There'll be a day where you're forgotten.
Yeah.
Dust.
And people hate that as a reality. It's like, no, I'm gonna make a reputation for myself. That's why kings wanted to win wars. That's why people want to have their names on a building. I was like, bro, you won't know that your name's on a goddamn building?
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
That's why it's like, okay, what you do with your life, what is it going to be? You want to be happy? You want to...
The thing that death frees me up on is like, I'm going to do every single thing that I want to do every single day because I know one day it's not going to matter at all.
Yeah. Like, there's a motive, there's a reason why this is all set up here and you're doing this. Yeah. But in reality, none of this even matters.
Doesn't.
So it's like... You use that concept within anything and what anybody does, and you look at it and it's like, we're just doing things to get the most out of this human experience that we believe is going to give us the most, or like we think we have to do certain things, whether it's because it's you want to do it or you think it is because it's going to give yourself the best experience, but you truly don't know what that best experience is, and that experience is only you trial and error continually until you're not here anymore,
until you're dead. Yeah.
So isn't that a crazy concept?
Crazy concept.
You think you got to be doing something until you die. When in reality, you don't really got to be doing anything at all. And nothing matters.
Yes.
But then that idea that alone is what inspires you to do things, because as a human, like, I want to make memories. I want to meet people. I want to learn things. Yeah. And that involves me doing things. Yeah. And that involves us participating and doing things like this.
But it does matter because it affects the people around you, and those moods and stuff are important to your daily life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because what are we going to do? Sit
and do nothing?
And do nothing in an empty box all day?
For eternity?
For eternity?
And die? No.
I'm not trying to do that. That sounds boring.
You're trying to do shit that like is interests you and gives your...
I'm trying to be on a podcast and drink some drink I never drank from Italy.
It's called Amaro, bro. Oh, okay. Come on now. You're going to say...
What is it? Amaro?
Amaro.
Okay, see? I'm getting cultured and I'm learning today. And that's what life's about.
What else is it called? It's a digest... What? Digestif. Rob's like...
And it's about to make me... use the restroom, maybe. Hopefully. I'm lactose intolerant, so...
I mean, this isn't milk.
Yeah. Okay, no, man.
No, yeah, the death thing's a weird concept, bro. It's my greatest inspiration. Have you watched the Steve Jobs like Apple Stanford speech?
Maybe I've seen it, or I don't remember.
You're a fan of Apple, bro. Come on.
Yeah, so I feel like I maybe have seen it in passing of research.
Yeah,
but
are you actually a fan of Apple, or are you actually not a fan at all?
No, I'm a fan of Apple. That's what's funny too, because like a lot of my videos are me making fun of Apple.
Oh, and it's not even making fun, guys. Like, go look it up. It's Rob destroying Apple as a company, but making advertisement at the same time.
Yeah, and I think it's part of like, I understand what people think too. Like, right? It's like that's what's part about writing the jokes is like, let me think about what people are thinking in their head and what maybe no one's saying out loud, and I could put it in a funny format video. But yeah, I'm a fan of Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's funny to point out those things. Like, it's like poke fun.
You're poking fun of things that are actually like really, really, really like people take seriously.
No, yeah.
Like, for example, like
that's what's funny
the
too.
commercial. Like, I read Steve Jobs' biography by Walter Isaacson, right? And it was one of the best biographies I've ever read. And like one of the biggest commercials that they had was the Think Different commercial. You know, and like there was a lot of effort and stuff that went into it, and Rob's over here just destroying this beautiful thing that I had a vision of, and it was hilarious. But also, I'm like, God damn, Rob, why you gotta do that to me, bro?
Yeah, no, that's I think that's just like what's funny about doing like parody stuff is like I'm a fan of things, and it's like if you poke fun at your friend and make fun of your friend, it's like that
it
sort
makes
of
them
energy.
better.
Yeah, it's like. Everyone is thinking it.
What qualities do you look for in a friend? And are you ever trying to like make new friends? Because the thing is, like, a lot of people are just like, this is my crew, I don't talk to anybody. And there's the other type of person who like is just super open-minded, and I'll be open to hanging out with anyone depending on like if I vibe with them or not.
Yeah, I think I'm more on that side.
Yeah.
Or I'm not every day. I'm not like, there's a new friend I can meet today. Let me go to the the coffee shop and try to meet somebody. But like, even just like how we met, like, I'm always open for things like that.
Sure.
And it's like, I guess if you click with somebody, and you can have a conversation with somebody and you can relate to them in any sort of way, that's kind of like what I guess anyone would look for in a friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I think building or just surrounding yourself with people that have like-minded sort of goals or things they're doing or just ideas is just good in general.
What aspects of life are important to you? Like, in the sense of like, if you had like some qualities in your life that you wanted to have friends or this and that, or what do they have to have, or what do what did the people that are in your life have to have for them to be in your life?
They just got to be like real. Just like, and I feel like you can see through just fake or people that aren't being truly 100% honest. And I think just having people, surrounding yourself with people that will tell you the truth about certain things and are not afraid to like joke around with you and make fun of you and in a loving way, you know. Well,
there's a lot of famous people out there, like celebrity wise, who I don't know, a good example would be like Justin Bieber. A good friend of mine is a professional soccer player, and they were playing soccer at the UCLA field, and Justin Bieber was like just playing with his team and this and that, and he was witnessing like this whole team like just like a baby like Justin, like just feed him all the compliments he wanted, just like yeah man, that's it, that's a good kick, this and that, and just like ego feeding this motherfucker. And he was like, what is going on? Like, I would never want that to happen ever to me. You're like, I want my friends to tell me how it is. Like, you're being a piece of shit, dude. Like stop that.
And you can see through that sometimes. Like, I think for the most part is like, you don't actually mean that.
Are you gonna stay in LA for a bit?
I don't know what the plan is. Like, it's working out right now. It's a cool like central spot. I feel like not too far from home, not too far from any sort of collabs or
I feel like
things going on out here.
It's like a lot of collabs is the opportunities are here for it.
Definitely.
And
yeah.
the IEs are like 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, during traffic time, it could be like 3 to 4.
What do you think, I guess, like, growing up in that area has taught you to the position you are right now? Like, what lessons have you gained from being raised in that environment?
Like, it's okay to go against the grain. You know, like, no one around me was really doing what I wanted to do or was doing. And I think it could be easy to fall into the mindset of, oh, let me not do this anymore because, like, none of my friends are doing it. Yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, so people tend to do things that their friends can do, are doing, or that they can meet up and do together or whatever. Yeah.
Before you continue, I was like, dude, I see this pattern with you that you keep having the courage to do the things that you want to do, even though everyone around you is not doing it or not supportive or, like, not similar to it at all. Like, I want to get down to the deepness of that. Like, what makes you do that? Because, like, even in this conversation, you brought it up like 4 to 6 times of just like, oh yeah, like, I just did it, you know? And I was like, it's way deeper than that.
Yeah. I guess that's just something I would want to promote. Anything that I kind of have done.
It's been against the grain.
Yeah, but that's what makes that I think that's the only reason why I'm at where I'm at. Or
no, I know, but like, where does that stem from, bro?
I don't know.
Because it takes a lot of courage. It does, like, because, like, I've done it a couple times in my life, and all it has done is pay off. But that first step, that first, like, I don't know, like, when you jump off a fucking cliff to go skydiving or this and that, like, that is what you're explaining right now. And I just want to, I guess, to the listeners out there, I was just like, I'm very curious about, like, have you done that over and over and over and over again, even though, like, your environment does not promote it? Because obviously we live in a space right now.
That's something that I would, I mean, that's a good question, because, like, now that I think about it, I don't know. I don't think I have a set answer of, like, what triggers me to, like, even want to do that or crave maybe that's what it is like, I like the challenge or
well, if you had to try, like, what would you say?
But it's almost like everyone likes proving people wrong too, you know? And it's like, I don't know if it's a little bit of that, but it's almost like I feel like I can do a handful of things, and it's like, I don't want to be people to just say, like, oh, you can only do this, or it's like, well, for what I'm doing is, like, I would like to showcase a little more. It's like there's more to me than this pigeonhole of what you see. So it's maybe that, like, a little bit of that, but I don't know what is the stem of anybody that does something against the grain. You know, it's like, what makes somebody...
I mean, I think it could be that, because, like, I guess for me, doing the things I'm doing out here,
because, like, even what you're doing, you know, it's like, I would say, against the grain.
No, sure. Every time I go home, it's like, you're telling me that you make a living telling people to pick up weights and pour drinks for them in a glass and speak to someone on a microphone. I was like, yes. Yeah. And they're just like, that doesn't make sense. You know, like, that's my biggest thing. I'm trying to prove, I guess, like, the people who didn't think it was a reality, that it's real. But even though they probably don't think about it at all. Yeah. Like, it's all in my head.
No, that's it. Because, like, I take myself back to kid Rob watching videos, and I'm like, I can be that person for somebody too. So I'm like, there's a lot of things that I think of that goes into it, I guess. But
it's also crazy that, like, what you just said right now, like, Kid Rob does something for someone right now too. It's like these videos of different points of your life are still resonating with people over a long period of time. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, and how do you...
that's not who you are now.
Yeah, and it's like, even any video that is up right now, it's like, as a human, or even as, I feel like I like to, or I'm probably changing, like, constantly, right? Like, mentally, or whatever it is.
What do you think the biggest mental challenges are that you have, or mental characteristics that have changed over the last 6 years from you starting YouTube, or 10 years?
Self-awareness, being more self-aware.
have you developed that self-awareness? Because like I could see in you even right now, like you understand, like you're very careful. You will pause when I ask you a question, and you'll really think about like, how would I say this answer? And you're self-aware of like the feelings that you have, and you're self-aware of like what I say that comes out of my mouth is going to be taken.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it right there. It's like, I don't know. I mean,
because a lot of people just react, right?
I've talked on videos enough to like know sometimes like, okay, let me not just start talking because
you might say some shit.
I might say something, or I'm like, I might just start jibber jabbering. Like literally, I would just might start yapping like I was earlier without remembering what I was even thinking about.
It's like, what's this dude saying?
Yeah, but being in this podcast format is also new for me too, which is cool because.
That's interesting, because I thought someone like you would feel so used to this.
I mean, I'm used to like I could talk for days, but now there's different like, okay, there's
well, it's a dance, bro. Like I think this is why like it's ironic, but like I feel like it's similar to dance, right? Yeah. Someone makes a move, you make it back, you know, and like they're saying something, and you have to listen to what they're saying, but also interpret like the thing that you just were talking about.
Exactly.
You know, and like if you can't do that in an efficient manner, you can't dance well. You can't dance well in this conversation. You know, and the physical aspect of dance, the physical aspect of making videos and getting that pull and push response is very similar. That's why you could say you could talk forever.
Yeah, but then you also got to think about like, okay, now we're in a podcast setting where like, yeah, I can talk to you whatever naturally normally, but then subconsciously you think about, oh, we're on set right now. You know what I mean? So it's like
there's cameras on.
So it kind of affects the way you act, and like I noticed that within myself, and I'm like, okay, well, I am just talking to somebody, but then okay, I'm not used to like hearing myself all crispy in my ears, and like it's affecting.
Rob's favorite word's crispy, guys.
Yeah, this is kind of crispy.
Crispy.
Ooh, listen to that. But yeah, I don't know. Cool. I don't even know what I was saying right there. See, I was just saying random stuff, whatever. It's a podcast. You just say things, right?
I don't know, dude. Some podcasts, they have like a goal, right? It's like the finance podcast or comedy podcast or like X, Y, and Z. And like, dude, I'm just curious about like why people are the way that they are. Obviously, there's something about you that is different that makes you a spectacle or a successful person in the YouTube space. Yeah. Like for example, you'll have someone on talking about sourdough bread. Obviously this guy has spent so many hours on fucking making sourdough bread that like it's interesting to find out. And when people talk about their craft, dude, like how you're talking about videos and what it does for you, and I'm still trying to dig deeper in this before we close out. It's like,
for sure.
It's like, yo, there's something that you're so passionate about these videos, and you could just see it from the work itself, that like there's some deep meaning that you're like, oh, I need to put this out into the world because it does something for me. And I'm trying to figure out with you, like, what that is. Yeah,
I mean, I've never been, like, asked that question. And I feel like that's such a good question that I wouldn't even be able to answer. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know the single thing of what it would be like. Yeah. Why am I making videos? Like, I don't know. One, I like to make them.
Sure, that's a great reasoning.
Two, I like the feedback I get. 3, I like inspiring people. I think that might be actually a big one. Like, I inspiring people is like...
What does that do for you?
I think...
Why do you want other people to look up to you? Or why do you want other people to resonate with your videos?
I don't know. At first, I didn't. Until people started recognizing my videos, I didn't think about that.
But now you think about it.
I think about it now.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what... If I ever make any sort of video or think of any sort of idea, that's the thought.
If all your followers went away tomorrow, would you still be making videos?
I'd still be making videos.
Why?
Because... that's all I know how to do. Like, not even that is like, I feel like there's like so much going on in my head and I got to get it out. Like we were just saying is like, it's like you just got to put these things out. Yeah. And there's something in the universe.
It feels like it's your duty.
It feels like it's not, I don't know if subconsciously maybe I feel that. I'm not saying it is my duty to make this Apple skit to put it out.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking in my head is like, I got a funny joke that I want people to hear.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what any artist or any creative would say is like, I have this song with lyrics that people haven't heard before, and I want to put this out before anyone else does, just so people can have it and people can feel the way I feel about it. There's something about art where it's like, it lives in the moment, it lives after the moment.
What is art to you?
Something that makes you, that you're able to connect with and feel something from, and anything is art, right? It's like you could look at
a table.
You could look at this and be like, somebody designed this
glass,
and it's art.
Yeah.
And there's just different forms of it, though.
Yeah.
And I guess.
Yeah, art's so weird because, like, I guess everything could be art. Like, someone designed this, someone designed these curtains, someone designed the carpet, someone designed this building. And, like, to them, that's their, I guess, like, video trying to get out into the world of, like, why they need to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And, yeah, I just wanted to dig that deep because, like, some people want to put out a video and, like, speak to people and want it to be known and inspire people. But they don't get the results that you do. You know?
I know, and like, so I can't put my finger on it either.
There has to be something that you do or who you are as a person that those people don't have.
Right, because I could have posted these videos and they could have got no views.
They could have got zero.
Why do people click on any video?
That's what I'm asking.
Do you blame the algorithm in any way?
Maybe.
How much of it do you give credit to the person that made the video? I don't know, because I've even, like, with music or even videos, like, I'll watch something or hear something and I'm like, if a famous, like, person in that field made this piece of art, it would be huge.
Yeah.
So it's like,
have you always believed in yourself in that way? You're like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. You got to, though.
Why?
I feel like you have to, because nobody
is kind of
believe in.
It's kind of delusional self-belief, though, but then it turns into a reality.
If you're not gonna believe in it, like, who is, right?
Yeah,
you're the only one that's able to make anything happen. You wouldn't have a podcast if you didn't screw in this mic, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's it right there.
That's it. That's a mic drop right there. You
Probably
just got to do it.
You just got to do it,
right?
You literally just got to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I would have regretted me, like, because I've always wanted to make videos. If I never would have uploaded something on my channel.
Your first video?
What was no matter how
video?
cringy it was, like, I have a handful of cringy videos.
Yeah.
Literally every video on my channel, but it's like, you look back.
Yeah, some of it's so cringe that it's so great, though.
No, exactly. It's like, oh, wow. Like,
that was artistic cringe right there, bro.
You need cringe to grow in a way.
Yeah.
Like, if you've never been cringy, then...
I feel like most memes that are successful... Also, do people who make memes get money, bro?
You have to be able to monetize it after.
Like, how do you do that?
Blow up. Some sort of brand deals or something.
That makes no sense because, like, there's so many memes out there in the world. I'm just like, this brought so much joy to my life at this hour of my life.
You never know what's going to be a meme sometimes. It's just a random ass thing.
The amount of people who probably made money off just, like, faces of Joe Biden and Donald Trump are ridiculous.
Yeah, right? Like, and that's a whole nother thing. Like, there's people that just post memes all day.
Well,
Internet.
Wouldn't you argue that, like, your videos is just, like, one big meme?
Yeah. It's like a high produced meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What purpose does your channel or videos and stuff give value into the world? Because the people who consume things, you are your value, right? So, like, obviously this value that you are providing is real. Then what is that value, do you believe?
These are great questions. I wish I can say, like, some grand thing about...
I mean, you don't need to, no.
My channel being the hub for people to come, and I'm just kind of uploading whatever, like, that's inspiring me or sparking some sort of interest in my mind, because I know, like, there's proof in the pudding, like, somebody might resonate with it. And I think I'm in a position now where I built up an audience where okay, maybe I can be a little bit more experimental in a way, and like I can do a new idea that somebody might like.
If you had to start all over, what would you do to get to where you are right now again? If you had to start from zero,
I feel like if I started from zero, I would be able to like speed run through all of the trial and error, you know, because it took me like 5 years to even get some sort of like decent traction on YouTube, you know, like, and like a stable amount, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like if I knew the things I knew back then about just marketing and audience retention and videos and pacing and things like that, then a little bit.
There's a lot of people out there, I guess kids who have traditional parents in terms of like they're immigrants, right? And it's just like, you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna be an engineer, XYZ, and this kid low-key wants to be fucking ROB, he wants to be Rob, right? And like they just don't know what to do because they've been fed it's not necessarily a lie, but fed this information that's impossible, right? And that the only way to be successful is to be a doctor, a lawyer, dentist, whatever, XYZ. What do you tell that kid?
Yeah, I guess that could be tough, right? I'm shout out to my parents because they were so supportive, even in the times of not really understanding what it was.
Yeah.
So I would say like nobody but you understands and knows what feels right and what you truly want. It's easy to hear somebody say like you shouldn't do that and to quickly stop doing it. Like I see it so many times where it's like, oh, you don't look good in that, okay, I'm never gonna wear that again. When it's like, what made that statement true? So you just thought that somebody, you heard it and whatever, but in the grand scheme of things, like
it might have made you feel super good wearing it.
Exactly. Comments like that could stop you from
doing the things that you
doing the things that you truly want to do. And I feel like doing your best to kind of barricade and block those outside things is going to help you spark your curiosity and be able to engage in those things that might turn you into somebody that you never expected to become. And I think that's kind of like what happened to me is like I got into dance, and then I got into video, and then I got into let me make my own videos, and then auditioning, whatever. So it's like
just spiraling effects.
But you got to allow yourself to do it. And sometimes I know that can be hard, and there's been times in my life is where you run into those things, but I think at heart knowing like what you want to do,
knowing the path and following it,
and knowing what you truly want and what's going to make you happy, or what you think
will make you
happy,
and just
go for it because it just might make you happy. Like,
and at the end of the day, everything doesn't matter.
And at the end of the day, nothing matters.
Dude, it's crazy because like when I tell some people about it, they just get mad and it's like, no, dude, like my legacy, everything matters, bro. Like this and that. And I was like, sure, that's your perspective, that's your truth. And
I guess in their world it does matter.
And I don't want to hate on it because to them it's a true reality.
Yeah. I guess I don't really think about I need to create a legacy and this and that. But
do you think about philosophy at all?
Maybe not intentionally.
Yeah, because like these are some philosophical thoughts, you know, like the reason for believing things. Like science is the faith that the future behaves like the past, right? So like, I don't know, I flip a coin. What's the result?
50-50, I guess. I don't know.
Heads or tails, right?
Heads or tails, yeah.
Right. Why is it heads or tails?
There's only two sides.
Well, also because every single time you flipped a coin, it's been heads or tails.
Yeah.
Right? So say if you flip a coin, it turns into a butterfly.
Yeah. That'll throw me off a little.
Yeah, right? But say every time you flip a coin, it turns into a butterfly 1,000 times.
Oh.
And then 1,000 the first time, what do you think it happens?
Yeah.
It turns into a butterfly, not heads or tails. Then you think that's a reality.
Yeah.
But like that's the whole thing, dude, about like just the realities of life. You know, it's just like you just believe them they're a certain thing because they've happened so many times that the future behaves like the past.
Oh my gosh. That's deep. Nate gets deep on the podcast.
Nate gets deep on the podcast, bro. But
Wow.
like back to people's like faiths and stuff. It's just because like they've been told that so many times that that's like what they're going to continue to say. Like that's their future because so many people have said that in their past.
Yeah, I mean, me and my friends talk about it all the time. Like, you could really get stuck in a bubble.
Yeah.
And then you hear something and you instantly will deny it.
No, it's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. I can never do that, or will never accept that. And it's unfortunate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in ways, you know, I was like that, and it takes certain things and experiences in life that helps you open your eyes to whether it's self-reflect or think about things that can help you improve or whatever. But damn. What'd you put in the drink?
Some Italian.
What was it
bro.
called again? I keep forgetting.
Amaro.
Amaro.
If there's multiple, it's Amari.
Where do you could get that anywhere?
Liquor stores, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have one more.
No, I
after
was
the
looking
podcast.
at it, I was like, oh yeah, you can see the thickness.
Of all the herbs and sugars and shit.
I said okay.
Yeah. Before we close out, what's the next steps for Rob? Like, is it just continue what you're doing, or do you have any like big lifelong goals? Because like, dude, you have a platform. You've been doing what you wanted to do for a very long time, and like you kind of have the privilege to chase any goal or desire and anything you want to do right now. And would you disagree, or is that true?
I mean, I think I can agree in certain ways and also disagree. Because someone could also look at my channel and be like, oh, this is a dead channel. Like, he hasn't posted in whatever, a month or however long it's been in YouTube world.
Yeah.
You know, that's a long time. Yeah, no. So with my channel,
I was saying you have the platform to be able to do whatever you want to do in your next steps.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm in a position now where I kind of want to transition in a way, and it's not as common, and people maybe might stray away from doing that. And I guess not transition fully, because I've always introduced like
new things to the channel
and new things. And I'm saying this like I'm actually transitioning. I'm not like, I'm still doing the same stuff, but like I also don't even have like a set idea of where I want to take the channel. But that's also, I think, what's fun and what's part of the whole journey of what I'm doing is like staying tuned, you know. It's like, if I enjoy a certain thing or a show, it's like, well, I'll just stay tuned for the next episode whenever it comes out. Like, so, you know, I'm excited for that.
That was a pun to Rob's Disney Channel joke.
Oh, the Disney Channel show?
He was like, "Go look at my Disney Channel meme video, bro."
No, I gotta make another one of those. That was fun. But just that, and then Strawberry Park. We're trying to.
So what is Strawberry Park?
Strawberry Park is just a collective. Me, Ryan, Noah.
Yeah.
They got a channel called Love Live Serve.
Okay.
And then we have that joint channel, and we're doing more of like a lifestyle commentary type of vibe, and we're making clothes, and trying to make some cool stuff, and and seeing where that can go, because that's a whole new thing, you know. So that alone it could be a whole new venture. So you know, having fun with that, and just trying to stay as fun and creative as I can, and and trying to, you know.
And any advice to people who want to be creative and make a living doing creative things, but they have doubts? Like, what's the last thing that you have to tell them?
Last thing I gotta say is to try. I guess just to try, like, and even that's the thing. You're not even trying. Like, you're just doing it. And once you realize that you're just doing it,
and you're not actually putting effort,
you're not actually putting effort, you just become it, and then you are it. And just like you were talking about with the podcast, before you know it, we got the whole setup, and you're like this many episodes in, or whatever it is.
100%.
And it might be hard to recognize that at the beginning. Like, any successful business or person or anything, when they first started up, I doubt they would expect, you know, the position they would be in. So it's like thinking about that, thinking about Steve Jobs in his garage, like, he probably didn't maybe in his head he had that vision and goal of becoming whatever Apple came to be, but there was outside sources and people saying you can't do this, or what are you?
A little bit of doubt from other people.
A little bit of doubt. So it's like remaining to have that spark and holding on to that little to that piece of you that knows that you can become anything you want to be. I think that's it right there. It's like the moment you lose that, then you lost. You lost it. You lost.
Yeah. Keep holding on to that.
You gotta hold on to it, and if not, then you'll just be on autopilot, I guess, which is fine.
Where can everyone find you, bro?
Rob on YouTube.
Just R-O-B?
Rob Lopez on Instagram.
Rob Lopez on Instagram. You'll see him.
I might post something. Who knows?
He's dabbed up. He has glasses and a hoodie, and like he thinks he's a cool rapper and shit.
Yeah. It's all about perception. See?
Yeah. You guys got to see a little bit of something that you don't normally get to see from Rob.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll do it again.
Hopefully, I'll be on again soon.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Sounds good. All right. Peace, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.